Okay.
All right. Welcome to Roleplay Cafe. We have Dale up there to my left. We have David down to the left corner. And our doomsayer, Justin. This is Best Left Buried Part 2. I think Part 1 was about 6.5 months ago. I have no idea how long ago it was.
It's 3 months.
But it was darn good, and we're finally getting back to this, so that's awesome. So go take it
Yeah.
away there, Doomsayer, Doomslayer, whatever they call you guys.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say last time on Best Left Buried, we were actually with you with our adventurers as they had actually gone to a long forgotten tomb up in the northern mountains from their camp. If you guys had remembered your commander, basically your whole company of adventurers, he singled all of you out to go on this small little journey to go and get one of the heir of the House of Edmund, who was kind of going on one last adventure before he would have to be stuck in his life of being a noble and politicking, because unfortunately his father had passed. But it has been 2 weeks and not a him or a hair has been heard of him. So this company, seeing how they take a healthy donation from this particular family, have decided to make it your job at this point to go and look for this person. You guys had actually spent, I think it was 3 days, marching your way up to the mountain, with which you did see the camp of the previous party that was here.
Oh, yeah.
And made your way into the tomb. You didn't see much in here except for a single, looked like a mummy wrapped, pierced with spears in a long tunnel.
Oh yeah.
As you guys had kind of investigated, Erg casting basically a big swash of lightning all over inside the tunnel, trying to hit the thing. He did miss it, but it didn't seem to react in any way. And it was Moloch that had decided to go up and kind of just pry at it with his spear, just knocking it down.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
From there, you guys had looked for any kind of doorway or entryway to kind of go further into the tomb. And you did see one that was broken open and led to a hallway, which eventually just led you into another smaller room. You could have gone left or right, but you guys just chose to go left. When you went into that particular room, you saw a stairwell that was starting to lead down. As you guys were kind of discussing what you wanted to do, if you were going to continue to kind of maybe go back and see what the room was behind you, or to continue off into another hallway that was also here. You guys were ambushed by one of these wrapped up mummies that was still alive. It went straight to your commanding officer, Colonel Rhodes, and ripped his throat out, and which you guys were kind of trying to get an idea of what the situation was. It was very chaotic, and eventually you guys did manage to dispatch it with one single spear thrust. Moloch had managed to pierce right through its chest and down the thing. At that point, you guys being on your own decided that, well, hell, we just better finish this and get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You guys decided that you would investigate further down to see where it would lead you. So this has actually brought you into this series of natural caves. So you're no longer in the huge stone of a tomb with basically the seals. You see basically this rough cut stone that led into this particular into this particular hallway. You did see there's kind of still some stone doors kind of set up, but not as elegant looking as upstairs. Continuing to kind of follow the path of an open door, you guys managed to enter into basically another cave room where Moloch, taking the lead with his torch, heard some rustling over in the corner. He decided to throw his torch in to see if he could get a better look at whatever is actually making that noise, and that is when his torch went out. And that's where we left off.
And that is where I am quickly lighting another torch.
Yeah. So yeah, in the pitch darkness, what you guys can hear is you hear like a scattering of sounds like feet. The floor here, I said before, was just kind of this crushed gravel. So you can kind of hear like steps in many directions are kind of trailing off. And it sounds like the smirking or kind of like basically some really rough language. It almost sounds like it's being said by children or kids. It's very high pitched. And it's going by so quickly, you don't know if they're actually speaking your language or not, but you can hear them kind of scurrying and moving around. So going through your pack there, Rowan, you kind of just go through it. You're trying to look. Yeah, you can feel the torch, but where the hell is that tinder box? You know, It's in here somewhere.
Right.
What I'm
around. one eye in the pack, one eye into the darkness, making sure he doesn't sneak up on my blind side.
Yeah. So eventually you kind of manage to get to it and you start kind of get the spark going, and then you get it going and you see the torch kind of lights up about a good portion of the room.
Okay.
You see that it's only like a small light, maybe, well, it's not really small, but like a 20-foot by 20-foot cave room. Okay. You see that there's a hallway that goes further south, like you guys came from the north. Okay. Further south, almost directly across, you can see there's like a little roughly hewed hall and a stone door that's slightly propped open. But to the east and west of this room, there's these small carved out, dug in tunnel holes that you've seen in here before. Mm-hmm. And that's when you see one of these things kind of in the corner. It looks like that it's trying to feel its way to actually go into the hole. What it looks like, you can only just tell briefly by the torchlight that's being given off, which is this faint orange, but it looks like that there's this very, very thin, very, very pale looking. It looks like a child, but completely bald. It wears nothing but like this little loincloth, it looks like, and it's kind of just crawling around, but it's very like its arms and its legs seem to be a little bit too extended compared to the rest of its body. And you can kind of see it's feeling around, but you can't see the front of it just yet. You just kind of see it it's feeling around, and it's kind of feels like the light's a little bit too harsh, and it's kind of backing away from it.
I know how it feels because I had, whenever, what's your character's name? Rowan. Struck up again. At first, whenever the light went out, I'm like, yes, let the darkness envelop us. And I start taking my holy symbol off, my rag off, and Rowan lights it up, and you hear me scream, no! And I'm placing it back over my eyes. Okay. So I don't catch any of that scampering.
Okay.
Even though I'm enjoying the sound and the sensation it's giving me.
Mm-hmm. So us being us. So,
yes, exactly. I'm actually going to flash the torch about the floor, looking for some kind of because we're in pursuit of Edmund, right? And his other entourage, right? So I'm looking for boot marks, something that maybe we can track or follow immediately below me, of course. If there's some kind of track I can get.
Okay, so go ahead and make an observation at disadvantage.
Okay, and that means I roll 3d6, take the low, right?
That's right.
Okay, so 3. Oh, let me get this done right here. 3d6, an observation for my character. Sorry, it's been a while, guys, so let me double check my character's stats. He doesn't have any kind of additional or negative, so here we go. Roll 3d6, see what happens. Ooh, so 3.
3?
3.
Looking at the gravel floor, it looks like that, believe it or not, the gravel, it looks like, has been traveled here fairly well. Maybe not necessarily by Edmund's party, but maybe whatever these things are that are scampering around may actually come through here fairly often as well. You just see that the stone, like this path, is too well traveled to determine if anybody came here.
Okay.
I'm excitedly, come, can you hear that? Come to me, children. And I'm taking the blood, this leaking, from my things like that, and sprinkling it around as I'm walking around in the blind. Okay, trying to anoint them in a way. All right. So I'm trying to listen to where they are location wise. All right, that's what it translates this to mechanically.
Okay, so you see this pallid child that looks like is kind of in the room. You kind of see that starting to make noises, almost like it's almost very primitive, almost like almost like a bark.
Oh, I immediately do the same in kind, response.
Okay, so with that, you see that it's kind of like reaching for the rocks. It looks like that it's just having problems trying to find the hole, but then you see it stops when you make that response.
Yeah.
And then it slowly turns around, and you can see it just has this ugly, jagged looking maw where there should be a mouth, just like rows of many needle-like teeth.
Burn it.
Oh, I don't see
The
that.
thing-
I'm
And the
getting the holy
thing-
symbol.
And the thing does not have eyes.
Yes,
Just completely covered. It's just this
Yes.
pallid flesh that's kind of draped amongst its thing.
Yes, let me mark you. And I'm walking up and I'm taking the thing like that to put the little X's on his eyes as I'm walking close to grab it, okay?
Okay, everyone make an initiative check.
No. Now this is 1d6, right?
It's 1d3.
Oh, 1d3. Okay.
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to roll your 1d3, and then depending on the weapon you have, it adjusts your
Hey,
initiative.
So I got a 3 plus my weapon is.
I will have a 2.
My weapons initiative. Ooh, I've got a long weapon. Nice. Yeah, not great for initiative bonuses -1. So I got a 2. I think that's right.
What are you using for your long weapon? What do you got?
So it's,
Halberd or?
it says halberd, long weapon, short
Okay.
brawn. Yep, +1 if two-handed, -1.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's a -1 for my. And then I've got plate shield, and I also have a blunderbuss. So I'm prepared.
Oh, wow.
I'm prepared to dispatch this blind
Okay.
creature.
No, this is children of the sleeping ancient. I'm going to use my thumbs as weapons to push
Okay.
the eyeballs in to give it,
Give
impressions
it eyes
right
to
there.
see. Yeah.
No, well, yeah, the sleeping eye. I remove all the eyeballs from my victims, but they don't have it, so they're in much approval.
Yeah.
me.
Okay, you know that they're
Children of
already
the sleep.
gifted. Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So
We are one.
yeah, so just go down the list real quick. So Mulch, is that what it is? Moloch.
Moloch.
Moloch. Thank
Mulch.
you. Mulch.
Mulch. That's better. That for this
Mulch.
game.
Sod. Jason, rename your character Sod real quick.
How do I change the name in the game engine
Oh, hit the little gear button
on my
and roll
character
20?
sheet?
and roll
Yeah.
20.
Okay.
Your character sheet or your
Oh,
name?
there we
on the-
go. Rowan.
Okay.
I see. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Save name. Did it change? It did.
Yep,
Sweet.
it did. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I rolled. I got 2 initiative. David's got a 3. It looks
No, I
like.
got 2. I got a modified 2.
Oh,
Got a 2.
gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Rowan and Mo got a 2. And what did Urk get?
You talking about Usk?
Usk, sorry.
Usk.
Oh, I got
you
2.
Urk.
Or go.
Usk.
It's 2. I got a 2
You got a 2?
on a 1d3. Right.
Yeah, it's on a 1d3. And then, so 1d3. You know what? Even I forgot how to roll in this program. Yeah, we haven't used
roll,
it.
1D
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit buttons. So I got a 2, which gets downgraded to 0 for its modifier. So you guys get to go first, and I just got to bring its little chit up here.
Boy. Kill it.
Usk. It looks
Kill
as
it.
though Usk is trying to lose his thumbs.
Yeah. That's not all he's going to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
fools.
yeah.
You
So
do
right
not
now,
realize.
yeah,
Some things
right.
are best left buried.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
He said it. Yeah,
He went
Yeah.
there.
yeah. And that's when you get like the red title card.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Blood splashes across the screen.
Mhm.
I was about to. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. So this thing is a short distance away from you guys. This thing looks like it looks like that it's actually going into a mode to attack. It looks like then it's actually going into a defensive stance. But since you guys have pretty much tied for initiative, you guys get to choose the order with which you guys want to go.
Well, I'm more excited than they are. I think they're more fearful. I'm more exuberant, wanting to engulf it in my warm embrace. So
Yeah, I'm actually willing to allow us to walk up on it and do what he's going to do.
willing to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was listening for it. I heard it. So
I mean, it might respond,
it makes sense in the narrative that I would be just hoofing it over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but-
I'm pulling out my halberd, trying to set the torch somewhere upright, driving it into the stone or into the ground so it'll kind of stand there burning. Get my halberd out and look at Moloch There may be more gold to share among us.
I'm assuming the worst. I think that thing's gonna bite his face off pretty much. So I'll have my shield and my short spear at the ready, and as soon as I see Usk's like jugular explode, I'm gonna jump in there.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming that Usk, you're gonna actually go into close proximity to it.
Yeah, I quickly did like that. I'm running over to Mark. It's put the X's on its where its eyes should be. But yeah, no, I'll be running straight in like that. So it maybe looks like a strangulation move, but
okay. Now, are you being violent with? Now here's the thing. Are you being violent with it? Like, are you like slapping it against the hand and like starting to yell at it about a bunch of crazy nonsense, or are you actually gonna try and softly go up to it, touch it,
embrace it? I'm too excited and too deliberate and blunt to be
gentle,
soft selling this. I'm going for the hard sell. It's a hard call. So when I'm going in, this is something that needs to be done right now, and some kind of so yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, to grab the head.
Okay. So all right. So you
push
go.
My thumbs in.
Okay. So you go. You grab it. Both sides of the head. You push your thumbs in where the eyes should be. And then you just hear the thing just give a wailing scream, and you can hear from the tunnel system from the east and the west. Three screams.
There we go. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, and the blood's spurting out on my little pea head.
All right, so
cow.
Here we go.
All right, so just give me a second. I'm just looking real quick to find out where these things are.
Here we go.
I don't believe that is a scream of joy.
Yeah.
Kill it while you're there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I actually have to roll. So what was it? It's / is it / roll?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy cow. Nice.
Okay, there's no way that I can do it to do 6 damage to Usk. So I'm going to actually hit you for 3, Dell. So what actually ends up happening is when you touch it, almost as like a reflex right away, it just starts giving out this wailing scream, and it kind of just claws into your chest to push you away.
Scrapes me back.
And it scrapes you back, and it only ends up doing 3. You end up losing 3 vigor.
Okay.
Was that the desired result, Usk?
Well, y'all get to go too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then we just go back to the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
With my halberd, I'll move as close as I can, but stay as far as I can. I think the halberd's a little larger, but I'll move up here and attack this thing if I can.
Okay, so remember that this map isn't a real map. It's just giving ranges.
Okay.
So did you want to stay at short range, or did you want to go toe-to-toe with this thing?
Short range with my halberd, I think. Maybe keep some distance between.
Yeah.
Okay, 2d6 plus 1 for the halberd. Here we go. Oh, nice, 10.
Yeah.
I think I did that right.
No, so what you're going to do in combat, it's a little bit different. What you're going to do is you're going to roll 3 d6s instead of 2.
Oh.
Because what you do is you then take those 3 dice and then you try to match it up to that 9 to try and hit something.
Okay.
And then the 1 die you have left over that wasn't part of the 2 that you used to try and hit is your damage roll.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so I'll do another 1d6.
And you add your brawn to that roll, that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're going to add your brawn in that, it's actually applied to hit. It's never applied to the damage.
Okay, so it'll be 3d6 then plus 2, and the weapon is plus 1? Or is that to the damage?
Well, just roll, I think. You just roll your dice, and then you probably should add to your...
Okay, so 3d6, I got 4, 1, and 2.
Right.
Yeah, so what you can do with 2 of those dice, you can choose to use them as your to-hit dice, and you want to try and get up to 9, usually hit.
And then the last one would have to be the damage die. Yeah.
Okay, so 4, that'd be 6 plus 2 for for brawn and my weapon plus 3. So I would hit right on the button and then only do 1 point of damage.
That's
Hit
right.
us
Okay.
in the back. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's what I'll do.
Okay,
Just
so actually
at the
going
edge of my blade.
Yeah, so just going for like a large, like basically kind of like that long swipe, just to kind of come straight down and make sure that you hit whatever the heck this unholy thing is in front of you instead of Usk. Or
Right.
Maybe I was talking about Usk.
Right.
Yeah, you actually kind of slam down, having the blade kind of scrape up next to it. So yeah, you actually put this like minimal cut.
Okay.
Basically just into its left arm, and you can see it gives off this horrendous wail that just echoes off of the cave walls.
Wow. Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay. All right.
As I'm reeling backwards.
I'll move over, staying at short range, and I'll jab at it from short range. So I need an 8 or 9. You said.
So you need an 8.
Need an 8. Okay. All right.
Or wait,
okay.
no. I think I made it. Did I make it 9? Yeah, because you said you just hit it, right, Jason?
Yes, I just hit it
So
right
I need
at
a 9.
You need a
Okay.
9. Yeah.
Okay. So that means that 6, 7, 8 plus my brawn will give me a 9. So that's a hit. And then the damage will have to be, I think, 3 points total. Yep. Actually, no. I'm using it one-handed, so it's just 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So coming up to it, you strike it with your spear.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite down yet. You actually kind of go through. Basically, it's kind of what's kind of its thigh. You can feel it go through the minimal, like the smallest amount of muscle cutting in, flesh going through the muscle, and you hit bone almost immediately, driving into it. This thing is like, and you just hear the thing just go off another horrendous wail, but it is still up.
Okay. That's it for me.
Right, Usk, I think you're the
I mean,
the last one.
Is it going to attack?
Yes.
Oh,
it already has. You kind of, kind
it
of feeling
attacked
down to
me.
your chest. You see that, yeah, you've gotten blood, basically. Yeah, did you mark down that you lost? I think it was 3 vigor.
Yeah.
hit you
Yeah.
pretty
Mark it
deep.
off.
Kill it, Usk. Finish it. Put it out of its misery as its screaming is deafening in here.
Leave it alone. And I swing it again to reconnect my grasp and push new eye sockets into the beast.
Wow.
Or the children of the sleeping ancient.
Usk the Insane.
Yeah. Okay. So
I got
Usk, you go.
negative.
Yeah. Yeah. You go again to try and reach it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have you just roll 2d6.
All right. Ooh, that is a 7, of course.
7. Okay. So you kind of go, but the thing is, it's too much on the defensive. You try to kind of walk up to it again. You're like, it was fairly easy the first time. I'll just do it again. And the thing seems to be swaying and backing up. It seems to kind of understand that you're trying to go for its head for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You can't seem to get to it.
Hold still.
All right. And then it's go again. So,
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm still only going to end up hitting you for 1 there, Del.
Okay.
So the thing kind of goes down almost like on all fours, and it kind of just like slinks down. It looks up at you, and just kind of when you're going for that last minute grab for its head, it kind of rises up and kind of just pierces you just underneath your gut. You can feel the claws kind of just rake just right underneath whatever kind of piecemeal armor that you have on. You're taking another 1 damage.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay.
Back off of it. Back away.
You guys going next?
Yep. So basically, we're back to the top. You guys get to go again.
I'll swing again, staying at short range here. 7, 8, 9. So I'll hit, doing again 1 point of damage.
Okay, and so with that, with the other slice, you're kind of coming down onto it again. You hit it basically right in the throat.
Nice.
The thing kind of gives off it tries to give off a wail, but it's kind of like dry and hoarse. You see blood. This like almost this black ichor seems to kind of start oozing out of its mouth as it's kind of choking on whatever is flowing through this thing's veins, and it finally just slumps onto the gravel, dead.
Okay. At this moment, I'm scrambling after the thing as it's laying there. I'm trying to start some flow of blood. You fools! And I'm quickly, and I'm pushing the rest of the eye sockets in, and then fumbling in my little pouch and pulling out 2 eyeballs that I had dislodged earlier, and then putting them in the sockets.
Wow.
Malik, I'll walk over to Malik, shaking
and I
the
stop
blood
and
off the end
straighten-
of my halberd, set it down, and
Mhm.
say to Malik, how did we end up with this lunatic with us?
The deeper we go in this accursed place, the more insane he seems to get.
Yes.
I'm there kind of, aligning the eyeballs so they at least, like headlights. And then,
We're not getting paid enough for this. I'm
You
afraid.
shall see now, and I'm stroking his head and whatever.
Oh, do we hear any other responses coming from the east and west?
Okay, so from the east and the west of the tunnels that have been kind of carved out, you do hear that there's like that wailing, that final death, well, the attempt of that final death wail. You can kind of hear that little barking at the very beginning, like brah, brah. And then it kind of starts to go quiet. And then you can only hear the wind kind of traveling through the tunnel.
If they leave us alone, I will leave them alone.
Okay.
You fools.
Is the torch still burning, lying there, or wherever it is? It's still
It
lit?
is. So what ended up happening, I believe Rowan kind of stuck it into whatever kind of like a cradle within the rocks that he could find.
Okay.
It was easy enough. The thing is pot marked enough that you could easily have found a place to hold it.
Yeah, I'll slip my halberd back on my back and pull the torch loose from the rocks, keeping my hand on my blunderbuss just in case I need to dispatch one of these creatures. You said there is an exit way out from this cavern?
Yeah, so you can either head north, which takes you back to the tunnels that you of the cave that you came into, which there were a couple doors that you left, and the staircase that'll take you back up. Or you can go south, where you see that there's one of these stone doors propped open.
Malik, do you believe Edmund and his entourage would have come this far?
I think it's very possible, noting the evidence that we've stumbled across so far. We have no we haven't seen anything to that looks like they met their demise for sure yet.
Good.
So
point.
maybe
yes.
To the south.
Okay, so I'll turn facing the south. I'll put the torch out in front, and I'll shuffle kind of sideways, torch in front, and hand on my blunderbuss as I head south toward that doorway.
Better yours than that.
Okay, so passing the doorway, you see that you kind of come into another cave, and you can see that there seems to be a tunnel that kind of extends just to the right. So you have this small little room you've entered in, and then you can see just to the right. You can also hear running water coming from the right.
It's a passageway or an actual door?
It's an actual passageway. So
once you
kind of go, here's a problem I found with my DMing style. Sometimes I think what I'm supposed to say, but don't say what I'm supposed to say.
I do that all the time.
Because I watched that video we did last time, and I was like, oh God, that's not descriptive enough. But so you kind of just have your torch in one hand, you open the door, and you enter into this other small cave.
Okay.
You can see, the small stalactites and stalagmites. You can hear the dripping of water kind of in this room. But then you see, as you've entered in here, off to the right, you can see that there's a long hall that continues to go, and it looks like it opens up into a bigger cave.
Okay.
And you can hear running water coming from over there.
Okay.
It's clear. Like there's the dripping in here, and also the running water that seems to be coming down the hall.
I will continue forward quietly, slowly, torch jutted in front, lighting the way, somewhat blinding me, obviously. Technically, if the torch is in front, I'm somewhat blinded, so.
But you just keep it on the side that you don't have your eye, right?
Right, exactly. So.
Yeah, because I'm on this side.
I'll come up behind Rowan and have my spear at the ready, so possibly I may be able to jab past him if need be. Maybe since he has his halberd up,
right?
In his
right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a shield then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So continuing to step forward, you eventually come into this somewhat larger cave. You can see here that there's something that's actually quite different. I'll give you the familiar first. You see to the north and to the south here, those tunnels that have been dug. Again, they have these mouths, and you can kind of hear something was scurrying in there as you kind of entered here. But the moment your torchlight kind of entered the room, you can kind of hear that scatter. But here, something is a little bit different. You see that there is actually an archway that goes west of where you're coming from, or basically the direction you've been moving west. You see there is an archway that's been carved, and an iron portcullis, rusted, that sits there. And you see that there's a large, it looks like a, let's see, what do they call it? It's basically just a wheel with notches that looks like that you would be able to turn it. It looks mechanical.
Almost like a gear?
Almost like a gear, yeah.
So it's down. This rusted gate is down.
Yes.
Portcullis? Okay. Closed. Okay. Does the we'll call it a gear. Does the gear have a any kind of handle or anything on it?
Yes, yeah, so it does. It has 6 of them. So it looks like you have possibly 6. Well, it's not huge, but it looks like that. Yeah, it has 6 of these handholds that you can hold off to the edge.
Okay.
And kind of just
turn it. Okay.
So
one person could operate it, or 6?
Yes.
Or we need 6 people.
One person can operate it.
Okay. So
it would probably be easier with 6.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Nothing else of note besides the tunnels to the north and south, and then we have the rusted portcullis to the west, and that's about it. And the sound of water. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to flash the torch again along the ground around the gear and see if there's any new fresh prints where they might have come through here.
So, but you can tell, like, obviously, yes, it looks like that there are booted prints that came around this gear to open up the portcullis.
Look, Moloch. Somebody has come through here, and they are not these creatures.
I nod in agreement, and I look towards Usk, and I kind of use my shield arm, and I wave him towards us, to come closer towards the gear. I say, Usk, what do you make of that? Look.
Be wary. If you turn it, you may awaken the slumbering ancient. Don't incur her wrath. And then I'll run over there and grab it.
That's what I was hoping.
Start pulling.
Okay. Yes, turn it, Usk. Quickly now. Quickly turn it.
So that our hands can be free in case something happens. Okay.
Okay. I want everybody to actually make a wit check.
Check.
Yeah, so everyone just roll 2d6, and then just count what you've rolled, and then add your wit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh. Not good for me. I have a 3 total.
6 for me.
Oh, 4 total. I'm sorry. 4 total. Yeah.
Okay. Did you roll, Del, or?
Yeah, 6.
You got a 6? Okay. Pay of no mind. So, yeah. So you're actually over there, Del. So you're actually kind of turning this wheel and turning. You can hear this screeching just as this portcullis is slowly lifting up and up and up. So it takes you about
Help
maybe...
me, you fools! Her maw is opening!
Does it appear as though he's struggling, or is it just taking him a while?
No, it's just taking him a while.
Okay,
it's not really a struggle. It's just
okay.
But this thing is rusted enough that it seems to be making noise, but it seems to be opening just fine. Okay. It takes him about 5 minutes by himself to get this thing open.
Okay.
Eventually, he gets it kind of. I don't know. Did you want it to go all the way, Del, or did you want to go kind of half the way?
As soon as it's high enough, I can duck under. I'm going under.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be left in here.
At the 2.5 minute mark, I'm ducking under, right, on the other side.
Is it possible for me to take a torch and wedge it in the gear to kind of maybe temporarily hold it in place, until we can get through? You understand what I'm trying to do?
I do. So you kind of want to jam it just to
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't close on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead
Maybe.
and make a wit check. So
gosh.
just roll 2d6 and add your wit.
Okay, here we go again.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. 13.
Oh, brother, that's
Oh.
perfect.
I can't do any better.
No, that's awesome. Boxcars, baby.
Boxcar. Yeah.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, yeah, you take it to jam it. And it's like, no, you actually see that there's a lock latch here.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
So you don't even need to need
Okay.
to lose the torch. So
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Sweet.
That's cool. Okay. So I'll do that. I'll maybe struggle with it. I'm assuming it's probably just as rusted as the rest of the mechanism, you know? So
Yeah.
eventually I get it, maybe the pin or whatever it is, or the ring to get on there. And then I kind of shoo Usk through the gate. Hurry before the old one awakens.
All right, I'll slip underneath there.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't even have to ask me twice, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am coming.
I'll leave it open. I'm not gonna take my chances and try to reach
Right.
through or do anything fancy.
We may
I'll
have
just
to
leave
come quickly back through here. Leave it
it.
open.
True. Very true. Very true.
Okay. So as you guys actually enter a large cavern once you guys get through the portcullis. You don't know how big it is or how far under you really are of the tomb, but you look at it and it just seems to be like the ceiling is almost vaulted. It's still roughly hewed. It doesn't look like that there's anything here that it doesn't look like anything like the crypt, like there's no bricks or anything. But you can see that there's a little bit of work. You can see that if you were to continue to go west, there's just another cave kind of just on the far side. But then up and to the left, you can see about maybe 10, 20 feet up high, you see that there's another kind of cave mouth that kind of comes up above where you guys are kind of standing.
I'll track along the wall, looking up to see if there's like a climbing something cut into the rock, or a ladder, or maybe a shallow set of stairs, something that leads to it.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
right up behind you. Bend down, fool. Give me a leg up. And I'm going to jump on your back, you know.
Get off me, Ersk.
Lift me. Can I reach it if he lifts me up?
Is it short enough he can be lifted to it?
He won't be able to be lifted to it. It looks like it may be a little bit too high for that. But
Yeah.
the rock work in here, like the rocks in here, are cut enough that you could easily find handholds, and it would only take you just a couple minutes to climb up.
Usk, climb it if you will. It's 20 feet, you said, correct? To this
Yeah.
ledge? Okay.
Yeah.
Go, Usk. We will wait for you.
I'll
scampering.
step further, and while Usk is doing that, I'll kind of maybe peer to the west to see if anything catches my eye while we're waiting for him to leave us here.
Okay, so you can actually hear the water much louder coming from the exit to the west. So actually, so when you kind of come out to there, you see basically it's an underwater river that kind of comes to you. There's basically this channel that goes north to south.
Okay.
So when you're kind of coming out to it, you can see it. It's about 10 feet wide. So you don't quite know how you can get onto the other side, but you can kind of just barely see just on the rim of the torchlight. You see that on the wall on the other side, there's another iron portcullis, and it stopped almost at the exact same midpoint that you seen, but that you left the portcullis further back.
Okay. All right. Okay. At that, I'll return back to Rowan, and I will give him that information as well.
That may be the way we must go. We'll wait and hear what Usk finds up there.
Okay.
When
He
I
may
reach-
find his own tomb up there,
He
and
may
I'll look
well.
up.
Yes.
Yes. And then I when I'm at the top, I'm slipping in there. I got a dose of medicine, and I'm taking it. Give me strength. And I'll slip it back in my pocket.
Okay, so you are taking a dose of medicine?
Yeah.
Okay, so you actually recover 1 vigor.
Gotcha.
Nice. What do you see up there, Usk? We have a lead
Give me
down
time.
here.
Give me time.
Okay, so this is
Okay.
actually a little more than just a duct when you're finally up here, Usk. When you kind of come up here, you can kind of sit down on the ledge here, and you could stand here, but when you kind of look like further in, maybe 2 or 3 feet, it kind of starts to hunker down a little bit, and you could crawl through. But you can feel like there's this air that kind of breezes out of this vent, kind of
Does it
towards
smell
the
like
cave.
death?
It does not.
Oh man, I might need to turn around. No, but yeah, I've got my little holy symbol on, and when I reach the top, I'm feeling my way down this tunnel on this green screen that I got. As I'm getting hunched down and going further into this.
Too much meta.
Yeah, and I'm listening and I'm feeling the breeze. And
where did he go, Mullock? The fool.
Be quiet! It echoes in here.
Yeah.
So,
now you don't have a light source, right? You're completely groping, like coming in
my
here
ears
blind.
in the field. Yeah.
Okay.
One of those alien movies starting to come to mind here.
There you go.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So while he's in here, can I either get between you? You can decide either Jason or David to roll 1d6 and tell me if it's a 1.
David's hot. He hit box scores. Go ahead, man.
All right, so let's see.
We'll take the hot hand.
Twice.
We'll take 1d6 coming up.
Now it'll be nice. Take that 3.
Did it?
All right.
Did it? Okay, there it is. Okay, yep.
Yeah. You're
Don't
good.
roll a 1.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't roll 1. Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah. Okay, so essentially what you're doing is you're kind of coming down and you're feeling, but you can kind of feel more claustrophobic the further and further you're kind of coming through here, and you're kind of ducking down. You can kind of feel the wind on your face, but you're kind of trudging through this slime. Unlike the tunnel work that you've been going through before, where you have that nice kind of gravel, you don't have anything like that here. It just seems to be this thick layer of like mucus or whatever the heck would be growing in caves comes down here. At one point, while you're feeling and groping around, you can feel just to your right, you can feel that airflow that kind of comes through is much stronger to your right. And then when you're feeling there's no stonework to your right. You feel down, you can feel there's like a ledged edge, sorry, but there's no wall there. You can just feel the edge. It seems to drop down and go somewhere. You could proceed further ahead if you were to feel to the left, with your hand to the left.
Yeah.
You feel the tunnel does continue to go, but there seems to be this new opening that leads to wherever this wind is coming from.
So it's a drop off.
It sounds like it, or it feels like it, actually.
Okay, I pause, but I'm more writhing in ecstasy right now because I'm going down the birth canal of the sleeping ancient, as far as I understand it. And when I get there, I pause and I listen. And do I hear anything?
Make an observation check.
2d6
Yep.
plus wit.
Yep.
That is 9.
9.
Nice.
Okay. So you can hear the wind basically kind of as it kind of goes through. It has that little whistle that you can kind of usually hear when it kind of blows through the mountains. But then you hear that there's something kind of flapping within it, almost like just like a, and you hear almost like a hooting kind of coming from this cave. In fact, the way that it echoes, this cave might be a lot bigger than you think it is.
Okay. I'm looking for something solid, a piece of rock or pebble or whatever, and throw it out and listen for the drop.
Okay. Just roll a d6.
And don't roll a 1. A 2.
A 2? Okay. So with this particular one, I'm just using it as a luck check. So anything that's below a 3 or below, you probably find a stone easily. So yeah, groping around. Yep, there it is. There's a rock you can use.
Okay. I'll pitch it over the side.
Okay. So you hear it just tick, tick, tick. And then you hear basically this like, and you hear, and the wind starts to come through a lot faster. It starts to pick up. And then you just feel something slam on the wall below you, and you hear this, and just this thing just seems to go, boom. You hear these footsteps, boom, as it kind of crawls its way down the wall. And then you just hear it go silent. And then,
dare disturb the repose of the slumbering ancient? I say this out into the void. All right. Is it still silence? Or you going to roll a 1? I mean, a D6.
No, you don't need to roll a d6 at this point, but I want you to go ahead and make a grip check.
Okay. A grip check is 2D6.
Yeah, he doesn't have any grip left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already out of his nut,
Right.
man.
Right.
All right, that's 5.
He
With
lost
no-
his grip.
Yep.
Okay, so you didn't lose your grip. So within a moment's notice, as soon as you
That's
actually
just your
call
opinion,
that,
Justin.
Yeah.
yeah. So as you call into the darkness, you can hear that flutter of the wings just starts up again. You can't see the thing, but you hear this hooting just becomes more severe, and just smash right to where the opening is on the ledge. You feel something kind of comes in, and then you feel like this hard, like almost blade-like chitinous, like arm kind of feels through and kind of begins scraping ahead of the tunnel where you just currently haven't pulled yourself through. It begins scraping the slime, and you hear this, and it's just loud and menacing, and you can see that this thing, just like these claws and arms, like there's something moving. You can't get a good view of it. Just kind of starts to scrape ahead of the tunnel. You do smell like this thing just smells rotten, whatever the heck this thing is. You have no idea where it is.
Do we hear some of this echoing through at all?
Yeah, you may not hear the hooting, but you did hear us. I'm going to get your name wrong the entire time.
That's right.
Us. You hear us basically echoing down the vent. You can hear them talking about something like that, but then you start to hear, all the loud noises, like the air flow kind of coming through a little bit stiffer. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of hear the smashing within the walls here. He has
found something, Moloch, for sure.
Or something has found him.
Yes. Fuego! Fire out that hole.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to envelop this intruder into the womb of the slumbering ancient.
Okay.
All right.
So
do I roll or do I need to roll for magic?
Okay, so you do need to roll for magic, and it's a will check. But remember, Del, that with Usk, his grip is already down to 1. So you can choose to cast this magic, but if you ever go down to 0, you're considered to be like no longer a playable character. Either your body strokes out because it's just can't comprehend the magic, or just went kind of balls crazy, or you just kind of run into the darkness of the dungeon, never to be seen again.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so basically I have to use 1 if I lose it. I mean, if I lose it, I lose it, right?
Right.
Yeah, so what you can do with the mechanic in this game, if you're in combat, it says that you can willingly take an injury, which is kind of like a critical hit.
Okay.
It doesn't give you, you don't lose any vigor for it, but you just gain you get cut on your face, or you lose an eye, or your hand gets severed or something like that. Mm-hmm. When you're engaged in combat. Or if you're out of combat, you can choose to take something like a madness trait, where you go a little bit crazy to gain some of your grip back. So at this point, so you're not quite in combat, because actually when this thing is kind of reaching and trying to get into you, it can't get to you.
Yeah, I know, but it's blowing some stone and some shrapnel at me, and that's what I'm going to use to empower the spell whenever it hits me and cuts my forehead and cuts into my holy symbol. And I slap it like that and say, Fuego! And then I want to burn this bird.
Okay, so
I'll
now
take a wound.
Okay, so you're going to do this. Well, it's actually not a wound; it's an injury.
An injury.
It's a little bit different. So what you're going to, So what you're going to do now? The beauty part about these is there is a chance that nothing will happen. You can come out of this with nothing. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to roll a d3.
Okay, it's 3.
It's a 3. Okay. I'm trying to look for the chart. Okay, and then I want you to roll a d6.
3.
3. Okay. 3 and 3. You permanently lose a point of will.
Oh. Okay.
Ooh, man.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
down to 1 on will.
Okay.
He can't get any crazier. I mean,
No, not really.
So what happens is basically during this mess when you're going to kind of cast the spell to gain so you're going to gain 10 grip. Right off the top. You're up to 10. So what's happened is I think there's going to be something within your mind. Like you're starting to lose it a little bit. You're even more crazy. I don't know how that's possible. But yeah, so either maybe you've got some sort of a concussion when you're grabbing for the rock. This thing just manages to swipe one of its deadly claws and just backhands you right across the face, and you smash the side of your head onto a rock. You can feel the gash kind of starting to bleed slowly and just ringing in your ears. And if you could see, you would imagine that it would be blurry, but you see there's kind of stars all over the place. And then with that, you kind of see what little you can, and then you just focus your spell on where some of this movement seems to be coming from.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm gonna use it like a howitzer. You know what I mean? Like a big potato gun, flaming potatoes. So just straight out and.
Yeah. So you roll this as if you had always if you have advantage. It's advantageous to use magic. So you roll 4d6 and then you just remove the lowest.
Nice.
Okay, hold on. I'll get another dice.
I like games that use D6. Don't ask me why. I just do.
Keep it simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lose the lowest number, right?
Yeah, you lose the lowest one.
Okay, so I've got 12 total.
Okay, so then what you're going to do...
8 and 4, basically.
Okay, yeah, so you're going to pick 2 of those dice to be your to-hit dice, right?
3 4s immediately, and I dropped a 3.
Okay. So then you have 3 4s, so you just take 2 of them, right? So that's going to be your to hit because you're going to get it because you add what's your will now though? Because your will went down by 1 permanently.
It's 1. It was 2.
It was 2, so it's 1. So yeah, you add 1. You do hit it. Are you using lightning or fire?
I'm using fire.
Okay.
Burn the feathers.
Okay. So then that other damage, so you're gonna, yeah. So how much grip did you use for the spell?
Okay. How much can I use up to?
So you can use up to 1 to kind of get the spell started, and you can use a maximum of 3. And
I'm maxing out.
You're maxing it out. Okay, so that 4 is actually a 12. So you end up doing 12 damage to it because you multiply it by the number of grip that you do.
Nice.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, 12. Gotcha. Yeah, this is when I'm losing my mind because I look at this and the intruder,
Wow.
And the wound house.
Jeez. Okay.
Burn, baby, burn.
Okay, so then
lights up with this huge ball of fire.
So
right?
with your hands, you can see the fire just starts to push out. You can see inside this small tunnel, basically this channel of fire comes out of your hands and it makes its way out into this open cavern. You can see the spout of flame comes up and just engulfs. Envelops this thing. All you see is this giant pair of eyes. And basically this huge maw, like basically these 2 mandibles kind of raised up. And there's basically this maw with these jagged teeth that kind of hang up below it. And then the thing, you see, it kind of has like almost like a matted, hairy look basically on the top with these large antennae that come out. And then it just kind of gives off this horrendous roar and jumps right off the side of the wall. And then you hear it go...
What?
Flies away.
Weird.
Yeah,
okay.
That's crazy.
Oh, eyes worthy of the slumbering mother as it's flying off. Man, I got to retrieve those somehow, some way.
Fly after it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can see like
down the passage, right?
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I imagine this is where Gollum started before he became Gollum.
Yeah.
Living in a hole in the ground.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
Talking
hold
to
my
himself.
hand out and finally it drops in futility, as the bird leaves. And I feel like I let down the slumbering agent.
So all you hear is just basically the echoing of this thing. It seems to be flying away and giving off this hooting.
Curse you! And then I'll just go down the little tube further after I regain my composure and get over the loss.
Okay, so again, you don't have a light source. You're just feeling around in the dark.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so actually, you feel your way kind of going in. You're kind of groping, going further into the tunnel, further, a little bit further, and then you can kind of feel basically this rush of wind kind of just coming up from here. You can feel that the cave opens up even further into a bigger room, although you can't see anything here.
All right. Yeah, of course I can. I get my thing off, but I feel this breeze and like an opening.
Yeah.
So I roll out of it like a newborn. You know what I mean? Kind of just with all the slime and everything. Kind of
okay. Make a
out in neutral.
Make a wet check.
Somebody cut the cord. Oh, hold on. A wet check. 6.
God.
It is 6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to step out, basically, kind of into the room, and you kind of said you wanted to roll out. So you kind of go there and you put your foot forward. You fall.
No.
And then you continue to fall.
Now,
no.
Now let me say, I'm not stepping out because I was crawling.
You said you were rolling out.
Yeah, I'm
right?
rolling.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm fine with falling.
Okay.
Well, I just want to create the picture because I'm slipping at this. I was on my hands and knees, right?
Roll
So
off
I'm
the
just
edge.
I'm sliding out. I'll look like and just slide out. All right.
Okay.
I don't know if that was birth or something else we just saw.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looked like a big afterbirth, depository.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was going to say Usk continues to fall.
Mhm.
And whether he ever stopped,
Oh,
no one will ever know.
No.
With a big smile on his face the whole way.
Oh,
coming,
yeah.
ancient
Yes.
mother.
Yeah, Usk is dead. Yeah, Usk is gone.
Oh,
Yeah. You really should have had a light source. I'm sorry.
That's good.
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he's achieved his. He let her down though. He didn't get those eyes.
So you guys actually begin to hear the quiet coming from the vent after some sort of chaotic mass of basically this, this pounding and snarling, and then all had gone quiet.
I look with my one eye at Moloch. I believe we should move on ahead and leave us to the after. The after, yes.
I say a moment of silence for the crazed sorcerer. And then we move.
Right. Yeah, I mean like a moment.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, so we'll I'll lead the way. He went through though at one point, right, and found another portcullis half open.
Yeah.
So
to
I'll
the-
kind
yeah.
of follow him.
Yeah, I point to the west.
Maybe we can go shoulder to shoulder. I don't know how wide this is, but since he's been there, right, he actually investigated it.
Yeah, I just kind of looked up ahead. I didn't go too far though because of the light source, So I'll point to the west and say through that portcullis there's a underground river, and perhaps once we reach it, we may find more clues.
Okay, so the river itself is actually in front of the portcullis as you kind of.
Oh, it's in
standing.
front. Okay.
Yeah, so as you kind of actually go into this channel, you can see that there's this big, wide, 10-foot spanning, 10 feet across river
Okay.
ahead of you. On the other side of that, you can see that there's this portcullis, and it's
Okay.
about halfway up, similar to the way that you left
Okay.
the other one behind you.
Okay.
And also you can kind of see to the north and to the south where this channeled river kind of goes. You do see that there's a little bit of a ledge. So if you wanted to, you can either go north or south to follow the river.
Okay. With the torchlight, can we see any details across the river towards the portcullis? Anything there, or is it just nothing of note?
The thing that you see, I would say, you can kind of just barely see anything on the other side because your torchlight is pretty much kind of stopped almost right at that portcullis.
Okay.
Go ahead and make an observation check, both of you.
Okay.
You have to make one at a disadvantage, Jason,
Yep, you got it.
because it requires sight, and you're.
And I'll I'll also, what I'm thinking, I just thought of is maybe what I can do is light another torch and maybe just chuck it over there after we do this.
So
depending
5
upon what
for
we say.
me.
5. So
5
that's
total for me.
2d6 plus wits. 12. For
So
me.
as you're looking closer to the door, there does seem to be something a little bit odd. There seems to be like a large mass of cobwebs surrounding kind of the edge of the portcullis.
Okay.
Okay, so for the sake of kind of keeping in the game there, Tell, is there another character that you wanted to pick kind of from the list? Did you just want to go with another Kabbalist just with a different name, or?
Oh no, give me a minute. I'll jump in.
Okay.
Or I'll let you know.
Okay, because I can kind of pop you in whenever you want to come in. Just let me know.
Does Rowan also see? I think we both see the same thing.
No.
Oh, we don't.
No,
Oh, we do
no.
not. Okay. Okay. All right. Am I the one who spots the webbing?
Yes.
I am. Okay. All right. Okay. So I will point up ahead, and I will say either someone has been remiss on their housekeeping as of late, or it looks like there may be a nest, a spider's nest or something up ahead, which leads me to believe that maybe they didn't go that way, because it seems as though the webs that I see are undisturbed.
Then I do not want to be the one to disturb them.
Let's can we take a look at the ledge to the north and maybe see what's that way,
Okay.
before we determine what we're gonna do?
Yeah, so actually going, so kind of flaring the torch kind of more to the north, you can see it just kind of follows the river itself. At this point, you can see that the river kind of leads up and goes kind of off to, it kind of comes down in a small waterfall.
Okay.
Out of kind of like this small little crevice, like this little cut within the stone. You wouldn't be able to go in the direction to where this river is kind of spewing out from, but you can see that that's where it starts.
So then south it is then, Rowan.
Or across the river.
Well, let's look. I think there's another ledge is there another ledge to the south as well, Justin?
There is, yeah.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, now you can see that that's where the river is coming from. Actually, I should give you another description here, but you can see that it does look like it may go a little bit further north, like where this, so you kind of got like a winding river, and you can see you could keep going further north. It looks like the tunnel system does open up and keeps going.
Oh, past the waterfall?
Past the waterfall.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, if it's not a big deal, we can glance south and see what is that. Is that promising as well to the south?
Okay. So as you make your way, so as you're kind of looking towards the south, you notice that your torch light begins to flicker.
Okay.
Quite a bit as you come over here, and you can kind of feel that breeze of wind kind of coming from this direction.
My heart tells me to go this way, but my mission tells me I don't know if they would have gone. What is your best guess, Malik?
I say let us go to the south and see if the potentially fresh air may have also led them this way.
Agreed. I like the fresh air. So I'll turn the torch into the south and hand on blunderbuss, begin to shuffle in that direction.
Okay, so making your way up into that direction, it takes you about maybe 10 to 15 minutes to kind of go through this tunnel system with this river that you're kind of following. And then you see that it looks like that to your left. There's like a mouth, there's basically like a cave mouth that begins to open, but then it gets to be much, much bigger. It's not just like a small hold off to the side. You see it's this massive vaulted cave that leads you to the left.
Wow. Okay.
So again, who was all holding a torch at this point?
I was. I think I was the only one holding a light source.
Yeah. if it had extinguished, I would have lit one, but it seems like just the wind is causing it to flicker. So I think Rowan had the only torch right now.
Okay, so when you guys kind of turn this corner, you see this vast cavern. You can't see the ceiling. You can see that there's all of these stalagmites. Is it stalagmites are the ones that come up from the ground, right?
Yes.
I don't
yes.
know.
Mice come up, tights go down. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can kind of see that these are kind of all over the place. You can kind of feel a fresh wind kind of travel up, basically from the far side of this massive room, which you can't see the other side of it. But then you hear a very loud, echoing hooting coming from the far side. And then basically you hear these basically it's these massive wings that you can hear off into the distance.
Okay.
And then that's when you guys see it. I want you guys to go ahead and make a grip check.
Okay, so what is that? Is that 1d6?
2d6.
2d6?
So it's 2d6, and then you're
roll
going to add
under. Oh.
Yeah. You're going to want to add your will, and it needs to be a 9 or better. If not, you're going to lose grip.
Okay, so 2d6.
Oh, I missed it by 1.
So I don't have any will, so let's go. Nope, 6.
I have a +1 will,
so,
and I missed it.
So now we lose 1 grip. Okay, so I go down to a 3.
I'm down to a 5 grip.
Okay.
I mean, excuse me, down from a 5 to a 4 grip.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
So we failed our insanity.
Right.
Or something.
Yeah, it takes everything within my will to not want to turn and head back as I shake a little. My one eye grows large as that is what's happened to us.
Yeah, my legs quiver and feel like they want to go to jelly, and I would say that Moloch instinctively kind of raises his shield up in front of him and kind of whimpers a little bit at that. Gosh.
All right. So what happens is so as you kind of hold your torch in one hand, and you do see this as well. Oh, yeah. This is going to be you, Rowan, because you have the torch in one hand. As you're kind of lifting it, you see it coming basically from the vaulted ceiling out of the darkness. You see these great spanning wings come down. This thing is huge. It's got to be like 10 feet across as this thing has come down. This large chitinous, it looks like a giant moth.
Okay.
Exactly what you see. And then basically has this, like these mandibles and fangs just oozing and dripping with some whatever ichor. But then you also see it's got this trail of like black smoke kind of coming off of its side. You're not sure where that came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I will definitely scream out, as this is just terrifying. Thrusting my torch up toward it, almost like a shield, and pulling my blunderbuss out, aiming up the torch, basically.
Nope. Okay, everyone roll for initiative.
Hey, Justin, is it obvious? Could we continue moving south, or did this passageway just kind of, or does the river continue moving south?
Okay, so when you're actually following the river, it does actually come to an end and goes into its small slitted cave mouth again, where you couldn't go, but it's basically ends within this large cavernous room that you
so we're pretty much at a dead end, so to speak. Here, okay.
Yeah, maybe there could be something in this room if you were to look a little bit more. But
okay. Okay. All right. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we're rolling for initiative.
All right,
okay.
So here we go. 4 for me.
1 for me, which makes sense.
And it goes on to 0.
How did that happen? Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
So you guys get to go before it.
I will unload my blunderbuss into this creature. As he swoops down on me, right?
Okay, so this might be interesting. So it has to be used two-handed, right? In order for you to gain the accuracy. Okay. You need to drop the torch. Can I get you to roll a 1?
Okay. Get me to roll a 1?
No. Can I get you to roll a D6?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to just give you a 1.
Yeah.
Roll 1d6. No 1. We do not want a 1, right? No,
there you
4
go.
again.
Okay, so you kind of drop the torch off to the side. You kind of
Okay.
put it in the most optimal way that you can, so you
Oh.
can kind of still get light on this
okay.
thing. And then basically kind of lifting up the blunderbuss, you take aim and boom!
Yes.
I want you to roll.
Nice,
You
and I
roll
have
with
a
advantage.
plus.
Yeah.
Oh, with advantage. Okay, and it looks like I
Yeah.
have a plus. So with advantage, I still roll 3 dice 6, correct?
You roll 4 dice 6,
Oh,
and you
right.
take the 3 highest.
Okay, 4 dice 6. But I also have a +1 for it and a +1 for wit, so it's +2, correct?
Yep.
Wow, so 6, 3, 5. So I would take the 6 and the 5 to hit it, right? Oh, wait, no, 6 and 3 would hit it, and then I could take 5 as damage.
Here, hold on.
Oh,
Let me see.
wow.
Let me take a look and see even what its armor is. Just give me a second. It might not be. Yeah, it's a 9. You need to hit it with a 9.
So the 6 and the 3 would hit, and I would take the 5 for damage, I guess.
That's good. That was a good roll.
That's nice.
Actually, or here, Jason, you can do this. Take the 5 and the 3,
It's 8.
and you add 2.
Oh, right. My
It's
plus
10.
2, right.
And if you do the 6 damage, not only are you doing 6 damage, you did critical damage. So you actually get to
that's
roll on
nice.
so you give it an injury as well.
Sweet.
nice.
And that's a 1d3 roll, right?
So the first one is 1d3 and then 1d6.
Nice.
Outstanding. So 1d3 is 2. That's so cool. 1d6. I'm digging this game. Oh, and a 6.
Oh, wow.
So
a
this
2
thing.
and a 6. So unfortunately,
Huh?
when you roll a 6, it's no effect.
Oh,
So
right.
it did not get an injury.
Right. So boom. Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It, it echoes through this chamber, kind of a deafening explosion through my as I throw the torch down, shaking, bang, and we smell the sulfur and hopefully hitting it. I mean, I'm not even certain I hit it, right? You know,
Cloud of
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah, so you just see, basically you just kind of see this big explosion of light just happens as well from the flash from the blunderbuss. And the blunderbuss, you probably filled it with nails, pellets, anything that you can kind of stuff it in. My idea for this particular character is when he lost his eye, he wasn't fucking around anymore. He's like, no, I'm just going to have a shotgun now.
Yeah, right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so you aim up, you just release, and you just see the thing just takes a large chunk right out of the side of it.
Oh.
It falls to the ground hard. You see,
Oh.
basically, there's the explosion of gravel kind of just flings all over the place as it kind of drags on the ground. But you see with its kind of sharp, chitinous arms, it starts to kind of claw itself up and begins standing up. And you can hear it giving out that really like horrendous hooting, but it seems like it's very deep and throaty and it's just echoing all over the place, and the thing sounds angry.
You will die. And I slide the blunderbuss away and I start to roll the halberd off my back.
Okay.
Wow.
Come back, we must finish this beast.
Okay. Malak was going to try to pull Rowan back away, but he seems to have inspired us by a heroic blast with his hand cannon. So probably against my against David's better judgment, Moloch will heft his spear and go in and try to spear this thing like he would a boar.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll step forward and thrust at it.
Nice.
Okay.
So we'll see. And let's see. What did I want to do? I will. Okay. So I'm using my spear. Okay. So that's 3d6. What's our base target number?
Okay. So you want to try and hit a 9. So
9.
you're rolling
man.
3D.
Okay.
3d6 and try and get a 9.
Okay.
No.
There you go. Well, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. I will use exertion.
Nice.
So
I can spend a point of grip.
Yep. And then you get to re-roll one. You get to re-roll 1d6. Yep.
Yeah. So
awesome.
he'll out of pure panic, to explain it. So I'll re-roll the. I guess I should re-roll the 2. I guess that makes the most sense, right? Because it's not the whole roll, right? It's just one die.
No, it's just one die.
Yeah, I'll re-roll the 2. Okay, I'll re-roll the 2. And see what happens. Oh, nope. So I wasted it. Okay. All
You
right.
can keep spending grip if you want.
No, I've only got one left. So
Oh, okay,
yeah,
never
that's
mind.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, you could take an injury.
And do what?
You
Instead of
gain.
spending or gain, what? How does that work again?
So what you can do is you can willingly take an injury,
Uh-huh.
and you gain grip back. So you'll get 10 grip.
Okay. All right. So here, let's do this. From the explosion of the blunderbuss, say maybe I get Moloch gets like hit by either maybe some of the shrapnel from it, maybe, or something like that. Would that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, here, what we can do is we can roll just to see what the injury is.
Okay,
first,
okay,
and
there
then
we
we
go.
can
Okay.
apply that with that.
Okay,
So
let's
you're gonna
go for
roll.
it.
So you're gonna roll 1d3 first.
1d3. Okay.
Yeah.
1d3. 1.
Okay.
I love
And
games
then-
that coax us into slowly destroying our characters.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And then 1d6.
And then roll a d6. Okay.
Yeah.
4.
Ooh.
So something happened.
Yeah. So you're gonna lose 1d3 vigor.
Okay.
So roll another d3.
Another d3. Okay.
So you
3.
took some injury there.
So 1 vigor is
Nice.
gone. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
got 10
essentially,
grip.
so now you have 10 grip. So essentially, what ended up happening
That
is you
wasn't
kind
bad.
of So you're kind of standing off to the side, and you're kind of just thrusting your spear at it, and you kind of missed it a couple of times. You're growing frustrated, and then you go and you make a mistake. You kind of go for one final drive,
Mhm.
and the thing's basically kind of goes for like a quick swipe, not against you, but trying to kind of fight Rowan.
Mhm.
And you kind of just get like scratched, like just it's basically kind of like it wasn't focused on you, but you just kind of get side swiped.
I got swipe. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so and with that, you just took your 1 damage with it, so it just kind of cuts into the side of your arm.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. That's about all I can do. Okay. I'm done.
So, all right, so now it's this thing's go.
Boy.
Uh,
I tried, Jason. I tried to get
no,
it.
it's good. It's awesome.
so
I have plate mail.
It wasn't in the cards.
I don't know what my to hit is for that.
no, shoot, I should be using the ability on. There's one ability on this I
Uh-oh.
didn't realize.
What is that? Heal with love and peace?
Yeah.
No,
that's-
so what?
Oh, no.
So this thing has something called
bleed gold.
Yeah, no. This thing has something called Rampage. So every time it gets attacked, it does a counter attack at a disadvantage. But I won't worry about that until next round. We'll just say
Oh my
it
gosh.
forgot it had it because it was on fire.
Oh
Yeah, it rampaged against
Yeah.
Usk, whatever. It's just Usk wasn't there.
His sacrifice will be remembered forever.
Right. We make
Yeah.
sure he's not riding on the back of this thing.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. So
Wow.
yeah. So are any of you down by half on your vigor?
Vigor? No, not
No.
anymore. No.
Okay. So yeah. So he's just gonna go after Rowan. All right.
Oh wow, it's got bloodlust too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Dang.
What a Mothra.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna hit.
Well,
I'm sure.
I don't know. It depends.
Are you wearing plate though?
Plate mail,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you're a little harder. You're at a 10. You're not at a 9. So
So he's got to do. If he hits you, he doesn't do much damage. Hopefully.
yeah, he's only gonna actually hit you for 1 vigor there.
Yeah,
Rowan.
that's good.
All right, so
Yeah,
my vigor's now
that's good.
8 of 9.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Whew.
Yeah. So
I
this
like
thing,
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this thing kind of goes for this lunging attack to try and get you, and just kind of scrapes off basically just the front of your chest plate.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
again, you weren't fucking around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, now with the halberd, I stumble back, and as I come over the top, slide that hand down,
Yeah.
and we roll initiative. Or are we still?
No. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take you at your regular initiative. So you're
Oh.
running on a 2, I believe. But if you were using the halberd, it would just reduce it by 1
Right.
because it's like a heavy weapon.
Right.
But you still have more than 0.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
which is what the moth has. So you're still going to go before it.
So 3d6 plus 3. Brawn and the halberd, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, nice. I'll take that. I'll take that 5, 2, and the 3 again to hit, and 6 damage, which is
Nice.
crit again,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, another injury. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Come on, baby. I'm falling in
hit.
love with Rowan right now.
That's
Here
a good
we
hit.
go.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, not just because he just didn't die either.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But because he's it was 6 again.
Man.
Damn it, 2 crits in a row.
6. No injury.
No
Yeah.
injury. All right.
Can that be out of curiosity? Can that be re-rolled with
With
with,
grip?
Yeah. Yeah.
what do you call it? Exertion
Yeah. If you guys don't mind, we can take a quick
after
roll
rolling
check
any
here.
kind of die, but before
Yeah.
after
Well, I
rolling
would
any kind of
definitely
die
give up
before
one
that.
of my grip to roll
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah.
See what
It says
happens.
any die roll.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
Here we go. All right. So my grip now is down to 3. 4.
There you go. So see what you did.
Okay. So
Sweet.
you rolled a 3
A
for the
4.
first?
I rolled a 4.
A 4, so that would be a 2. Okay. So you actually do a permanent loss of wit on
Nice.
this thing.
It
Wow.
probably
That's
didn't
interesting.
have a whole lot.
Yeah,
It's a giant
but that's
insect.
interesting though. Yeah.
Right. That is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just kind of smack it up along its head, and it just kind of shakes its head.
Mhm.
All right. So
Probably want to roll like a 1 or something.
Get it now.
Yeah.
Get it while it's stunned. Moloch.
Okay, so I will give it a shot here. So it's going to be 3d6 plus 1 for my brawn. Okay. So 3d6, and I got to get a 9. It's not going to happen.
Dang it.
No, 6. But
Now
I
you
got
a lot of grip.
I got a lot of grit though, or grip rather. So I will do that. I'll re-roll the 2 again and see if I can get something better. So I go down to a 9. So I'll re-roll that 2.
Oh,
It's not gonna happen.
He's just shaking. He's
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
believe
yeah.
it,
He's shaking.
right?
Yeah. So he wow, this isn't a good look for him in front of Rowan either.
Rowan only has one
So-
eye. He ain't seeing much
so-
other than this giant creature.
yeah.
So,
you're standing on the other side there. you're fine.
So
I'm
Molek's-
assuming he's stabbing the hell out of this bird, right? It's
Molek, Molek steps forward again and thrusts his spear widely, I guess, to the left, and it kind of skitters off the stone floor where the giant moth was, and he misses badly.
Okay.
Okay. And he's
yes, Moloch, stab it again.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, Shida.
6.
Yeah, see, he's getting warm now. So we
Oh,
got
that's a crit.
yeah.
So that's a 13 in total if I take the 2 lowest. So he hits you, and he's going to end up doing 6 vigor to you.
Oh, I'm down. That's me, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm down to 2.
Okay, and then I'm going to roll for an injury. This is a crit.
Let's just don't lose another eye.
Yeah. Oh, that would just be horrific.
So 1.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's wit. That's a
4.
permanent wit loss, isn't it?
No,
Oh,
it's a no. So it's 1 and 4. That's actually a loss of vigor. It's a D3.
oh,
Oh, more?
More
Oh,
vigor.
oh
boy.
no.
That ain't good. 2.
So 2. So
Oh,
I
I'm
got-
down to
you're down to
I'm dead.
0,
I'm
right?
0, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not dead yet.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay, but you are down. But you are out. So you just see that. Yeah, Rowan goes down, crashing down onto the gravel.
I feel bad, man.
His body
I feel bad.
batched back. This halberd from my hands, bouncing on the hard floor of the as the halberd comes down into the soil. Right, blade down, sticking there.
That's not good. What is I got 1 wit, huh? Okay. All right. Well, honestly,
There's us falling to his death.
I think Moloch. he try to turn tail and get out of there.
Yeah.
He really would. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he hasn't been able to hurt this thing, and after
and he wouldn't know whether I'm dead or alive. He would
I
assume
assume
I'm
you're
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. After Rowan has been like hacking away powerfully at this thing, and it's still there. I think Moloch would attempt to get out of there, and only if he is not able to escape will he turn and fight with no other choice. So
Okay.
I'll try to do. Is it an escape or whatever? What's it called?
Okay, so if you do an escape, that means you spend your entire turn running from combat. However, you can attack and roll to escape.
Wow.
Oh,
But
really?
if you fail to escape, you either have to stay in combat or it gets a free attack against you.
I'll try that. Okay. So what do I do first? Try to.
Okay, so you want to try and attack it first. You're
Attack first?
you're just going to do your straight action.
Okay,
first.
so here we go. 3d6 plus 1 again. Right? I keep forgetting. I don't think I have any. Yeah, the damage is from the spear. Okay. Oh, that's only two-handed. Okay, so it's just 3d6 plus 1. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so you're of course. So there's a 9. So then there's 6 points of damage to it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's irritating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see the thing kind of makes its way over to Rowan. You kind of take the chance to be like, okay, this will be a good opportunity to either save Rowan or hey, it's distracted eating Rowan.
Okay.
So you see the thing kind of crawls up. It's going towards his body.
Yeah.
But you see that. So you kind of go in there, go to strike it, and then you come right into it. You just hit it right in between the eyes. The chip snaps in half. The spear drives right into it and comes out of the back.
Get out of here.
The thing just crumbles right before you.
Hot damn.
Okay.
Moloch, he'll fall to his knees.
Spear sticking in the head of this thing.
Right?
Left it in there.
And for a moment, he'll just he can't believe it,
Right.
He can't even believe that just happened, and then he'll kind of come to the realization, perhaps, I don't know if maybe he can hear like Rowan's jagged breath or something,
gurgling blood,
and then he'll crawl over.
Here's the thing, Jason. I know you guys may have forgotten the first game that we played, but do you have a coin?
Oh, that's right.
Let me grab one real quick.
Okay.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's nuts.
Yeah. I wanted to tell it's bad because I wanted to tell you I had 1 hit point.
No, it's better this way.
I was like, oh
yeah, it's better this way, because that way I really, I had to think about it, and I go, well, at this point, he'd hightail it, and you go, well, maybe you could just do an attack.
All right,
and then run.
I got a coin. Here we go.
Okay, so you want to get heads.
Heads, okay. It's a nickel.
Okay.
I don't know who this guy is. Who's on the nickel anyway? Adams?
Yeah.
Is that Adams? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Hey, that's American currency.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Where'd it go?
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's on the floor.
Okay.
It is tails.
Oh. Man.
Okay. Unfortunately, Rowan did not make it.
Shoot. He looks over, his eye opens up, rolls over toward Moloch. It is so beautiful here. And then dies away.
The light goes out.
Yeah, right.
The sparkle dies.
Speaking of light going out, can I get you all the D6?
What's
no,
that?
just joking.
Oh,
just
okay.
Joking.
The torch.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's burning somewhere over there.
Moloch yells out in frustration, and curses the gods, and shakily gets to his feet, and I guess he'll I guess take what he can off of Rowan's body, and actually he'll take the blunderbuss. Screw it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's something. And then pick the torch up and slowly exit the. Oh, actually, he'll take a look around to see if there's any other way to get out of this chamber, maybe to the east, perhaps, or to the south.
Okay, so what you notice is when you kind of go further into the chamber, it is a very, very large room. And it's not entirely enclosed, of course, because you can feel the wind coming up. But you see that almost 40 feet up above, you can kind of see that there's a ledge that kind of runs along the back wall. Basically, when you go as far as you can kind of see that there's this ledge, basically just at the very top where this air seems to be kind of flowing down. Also, you see that webbing that I had mentioned earlier. You can kind of see that there are spots all over the floor and against the walls, kind of all over the place. And there's actually large bundles right up in here.
Oh, when you say large bundles, human-sized bundles?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
But you have the answer to what happened to Edmund.
I think so, yeah. So I will I'll walk over and start to slice open some of these bundles to see what they contain.
Okay. Maybe a good introduction for some new characters to come out.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh, wiggle out.
Are you still there, Del?
Yeah, I don't
There
burn
he
them. I
is.
slice them open.
Yeah. I'm not sure where everybody is. I don't like having players sit out for long times either. So that's what I'm like, I gotta try and get Del back in here. I can't
So does that give me a
No,
minute?
I was fine, man, to sit out for a while.
yeah.
I just had to deal with take some Tylenol and stuff for this toothache.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, how's your headache going? Are you okay, or are you still sinusy?
Oh yeah, I'm still that way. But I mean,
Terrible. Man, I feel
I'll
bad,
take
guys.
this. I'll take this outcast.
I had it listening to it though. It was awesome.
No, it wasn't that awesome.
Oh.
Okay. So what you can do, if you guys feel like you want to, you can kind of just take one of the pre-mades that maybe we haven't seen yet, or if you feel like, no, I like that kind of character type, just rename them and get them.
Yeah, I'll take the outcast.
I'll take the cutthroat.
Okay.
Let me rename him. Let me rename him here. There we go. The outcast. Not a people person, so don't get on my bad side. According to the write-up here.
Yeah.
Not a people person. All right. And I'll change the name up here. Gordy. Gordy. Not a people person. I don't think I have any injuries or anything. Let me see. Tough as nails. That's cool. True grit. Home in the wild. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. And the name for your character, Del?
It's on there, Quinn.
Quinn.
Oh, Quinn. Okay.
Right. So as you're kind of lifting up the torch and you're kind of going through, you see that there's maybe 4 or 5 bundles that have kind of been stored and off to the side in here. And you can kind of take whatever knife you have and kind of cut them open. You see some of them, the people have just essentially not quite sure how long they've been here. One of them seems to be, it could have been an adventurer from the previous party, or could have been just at another time. You see another one is one of those eyeless, sickly things that you've actually seen kind of crawling around or hearing crawling around in the tunnels.
Is this one more of an adult, or is it the same size as the other one?
It looks like it's about the same size.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then you actually come up to one, and then you hear like a when your torchlight gets near.
Moloch will step back, he'll jump, and then he kind of inwardly kind of scolds himself, like, buck up, damn you,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll, with the shaking hand, he'll start to cut the webbing.
Okay.
Or the silk.
And
Okay.
I'll poke my head through. Ah, get this off me! It's about time. Where have you been?
My eyes will grow wide, and then I'll start with my hands. I'll start to tear away at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll climb out and then fumble around looking for my gear. I'm assuming it's
Okay.
scattered about or something.
Yeah, so you kind of find that, it was kind of thrown from your hands when you were fighting this giant moth thing, and it kind of just flung your hand axe out of your hand, and your shield went off in the other direction, and then it kind of picked you up and wrapped you up. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
Okay.
It has taken you long enough. Where were you with the original expedition? You had fallen back?
Are you from the original expedition?
Aren't you?
No, you fool.
You are not. Oh, well, I just assumed you were a lollygagger. You were held back.
Wait, what's that? And I'll look over and maybe see one of the other cocoons kind of moving around, and I'll walk over to that one and with a little more assurance, cut that one open.
Okay, so with that, you kind of cut this other one that seems to be kind of jumbling and gyrating off to the side, and kind of cut it open.
Yeah, it's gyrating. And I break free and spill out of it. And,
little hip action there.
Yeah. I wiggle like a wiggly worm and get out of there and righten myself and stand up. And I look dazed, a little bit inebriated. And you can't tell if it's from alcohol or spider bite. But anyway, I'm kind of standing around there like that. And I look over at Gordy.
Quinn, it looks like you've had a long rest as well. And I'll pat him on the shoulder. Now sober up. We must. Where is Edmund?
I would like to know the same thing. I was sent here to find him.
Okay, I take notice of you. Who are you? Were you part of our original party? And we got through that thing.
I look at Gordy and say, he's drunk?
Generally,
how's
yes.
that possible?
I got a wineskin.
Mm-hmm.
What, did you have it up to your lips when you got cocooned?
Trust me, I lean in.
I got it rigged like a camelback.
I lean into Mullock and I whisper, "You would not like him if he was sober."
Oh, okay. All right, okay. Well, where's the rest of your group?
I look about. I think we are all that's left.
Those were the only cocoons left, Justin? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So from what you guys even remember, even on the previous expedition, you guys didn't venture out very far. You guys did somewhat separate into two groups, and you guys did travel with Edmund. But you guys
split. Okay.
So they did split, and Edmund did come in here with you, like you were part of his party.
Okay.
And you guys did end up fighting the giant moth, although
Mothra.
but not successfully. Eventually they had to retreat further deeper in. From what you can remember, you remember people were pulling back, but you don't remember much because, of course, at that time you were being cocooned by this thing at a very fast rate.
The good news is I do not see his body around here. We did hear them retreating.
Okay. I kind of lean on my spear and I say, well, welcome to the party of the doomed, for that's what it feels as though we are.
Well, we must find Edmund, I suppose.
I spit and I say,
must get out of here.
I say, the reward promised is starting to seem less and less appealing to me. The deeper I find myself in these caves of doom.
Reward, you say?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of reward?
Yeah.
I wouldn't risk my neck for glory, that's for sure. And I point over to the husk, to the body of the moth, and
I'm starting a little bit when I notice it.
The body of Rowan, and I say it's cost us a lot.
But you've slain it. You must be a formidable warrior. Good, good.
I,
Edmund would
that
love
or-
to have
or
you
lucky.
at his side.
I say nothing.
Either that or lucky.
Yeah.
Let's leave this wretched place and go collect the reward.
Mhm.
You have any more wine left in that flask or that skin of
None
yours?
to share. But I do thank you for releasing me. My bonds. I thought I would never taste the sweet wine again.
Mhm.
All right, I'll make note of that.
Mhm. Mhm. Do we get a reward for finding ourselves?
I say my two dead companions that were here, I assume that if we make it back alive, that part of their share is available to you if you want it.
Ah, yes. I'll drink to
It's
that,
no
and
good to them.
I'll wrestle the wineskin away from Quinn. Take a quick slip.
Can I roll for an opposed check on that?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
2d6.
2d6 and both add your wits.
Guys
Let's
are
see who-
scuffling
let's
over
see
a
who brings-
wineskin.
Yeah.
7.
I rolled a 7. Let me see. You said if I had my wit? Oh,
Yeah.
I got a 9, sucker.
Sucker.
Sleight of hand. You go to reach for it. Swing it around my. I like toss it like a basketball, like I'm a Harlem Globetrotter, and just swing it up to my lips.
This is why I do not like people.
Yeah. Yeah. You just like give him the one moment sign and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if the two of you are done dancing around, we can continue.
Agreed.
The-
I will light a torch. I'm assuming you still have your torch. I might stick a torch to your torch.
Yeah,
a
I'll
second
pick it
torch.
up if it's still lit. I'll pick it up off the ground
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
point it your way so you can. use
Yeah.
it.
You probably have like about another 30 minutes with this
Okay.
particular torch. It is starting to get low.
Okay.
So
Could we tell a kind of direction that they might have retreated into when we were being cocooned?
it would have been directly behind you the way
Okay.
you came in.
Oh, okay.
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 So that would have been the way we came in then, our group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys didn't really get much further than actually what your original
Right.
characters had done. So
Okay.
you came down and turned down to here.
We didn't. No, I guess we didn't. I was gonna say we didn't see Usk's body on the floor in here or the ground in here, did we?
That's
He fell
yeah.
another way. Okay.
Yeah, you don't know where he. Yeah, you don't know where
Wow,
he.
he's still falling. Maybe that's.
Yeah.
He's free
Okay.
falling, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll say I've got some vague familiarity with this area that we're in right now. Follow me.
Yep. And I'll look at Quinn and shrug as we fall in behind. What is your name there, warrior?
I turn and over my shoulder I spit out Moloch.
What did you call me? And I put a hand on my. Don't ever call me Moloch. My name
That
is
sounds
40.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Gordy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be a long day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I will head back west.
Yeah. So actually, yeah. So you go west,
And then we
you
have
can
to
follow
go
the river north.
North, right.
Okay.
We've got to go north along the ledge. And then once we come back in that other cave, I guess that we can either continue north past the waterfall or we can go see that I point across the river towards the portcullis, the webbed portcullis.
Mm.
And I say that to me looks like another potential nest of the moth creature. And I don't think we should go that way.
Agreed. I have already been restrained in its webs. It's silky.
Silky, yeah.
Yeah, silky
Cocoons.
webs.
And I say, but if your Edmund went that way, I'm sure he's in the creature's belly by now.
Mm. What do you need as evidence to get the reward?
Anything off of his person that would prove that we found him.
I
A
rolled
signet ring.
If I lifted something off of him?
A signet ring, a
You mean
crest
like
of
this
some
one?
sort.
No.
Yeah.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying.
A head.
Head.
Anything.
Then I'm afraid we will have to find him. Did
Yeah.
you cut open the creature? What if it was in the belly of the creature? What if he
No,
was? No.
I wanted nothing else to do with that demon.
All right. Well, with my torch freshly lit, and I believe I have a shield. Let me double check with my outcast. I may just head over to those webs and burn them down at the. I have a no. I do not have a shield. But I think we have to investigate. We have to find some evidence of him so we can go back, and put this to rest and get our reward.
So you want to somehow leap over this
Oh, it's on the
this
other
river?
side. Oh,
yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
about 10 feet over.
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a plate mail armor or anything. I have basic armor, so I stick a hand in the river. How cold is this?
Okay, so the water itself is actually fairly lukewarm. It's
Ooh.
not frigid
okay.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then I'll begin to strip off my gear and hand it to the Moloch and Quinn, and get down to my skivvies and one toe in, and then I'll drop into this river and try to swim across it quickly.
Before he swims, I will give him how long is it? Never mind. I thought I had a rope, but I do not. I took manacles instead of a rope.
You might want a manacle.
Actually, I do have a rope.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Okay, you're looking around, and then are you looking for this?
Rope?
Yeah, I produce a rope out of my,
Okay.
backpack, or out of his backpack. rather.
I'll slide it around my shoulder and under my arm so it can't strangle me.
There you
And into the river, and I'll try to swim across.
Okay. So you don't actually need to make a roll for this particular
Okay.
swim.
Nice.
It's not that severe. So you kind of just gently
It's
paddle.
not the
over
river, it's the
across.
leeches.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When you get up, you got like all these eels all wrapped around your body.
Right.
No, you make it easily enough across. The water itself does seem to be somewhat fresh. Being a flowing river, there doesn't seem to be much actually living in this particular area at all. It's not stagnant. And then you make your way up onto the other shore with the rope still wrapped around, and you can kind of see you're just right beside that portcullis.
Okay.
On
I'm
the other
gonna. I motion to them.
Okay.
Because it's dark, right? I mean, I probably can't
Well,
see.
I'll
too
stand
far,
as
can I?
close to the other side as I can, and I'll kind of, thrust the torch towards you to give you as much light as I can.
Okay.
You're
Whatever
kind of
that's worth.
Yeah, you're kind of like just on the edge of that torchlight.
Okay.
You see enough to see the portcullis and the archway, but that's it. You don't see anything inside.
I can lob it over there if you want,
Oh.
It's just 10 feet. Maybe
Yeah,
if I
just,
toss it, it won't go out. I don't know.
Pitch the torch across.
Roll one.
Okay.
And throw over my hand axe, my battle axe, so I have something. Even though I'm in my skivvies, I'll need just in case.
Okay. I think I can. Well, Justin's your call, but it's 10 feet, so I just underhand it. Just toss it over there.
Yeah, just go ahead and just make a quick brawn check.
A brawn. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 2d6. So there you go. 6 plus 1, 7.
7.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you kind of toss it.
Mm-hmm.
Bloop.
Into the water?
Into the river.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
torch?
All right. Yeah. I'll have to get another torch
Good,
then.
Moloch. Good work. Good work.
I kind of look like, wait.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I will light another torch then. And
Okay. So
try
spending.
it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
kind of grope. I don't think you can groping around in the dark because you had 2, right? There
Yeah.
were 2 going.
Yeah, but we don't
Yes.
want to give them everything.
We
Obviously.
had an old one and a new torch.
Yeah.
I was gonna give him. I'll say realistically, I was gonna give him the good one. I mean, and realistically, why would I give him the crappy torch? So I'll light it and I'll try it again because I only got a half hour. So let's go. So let's see how much do I've got. So I have 2 torches left. The stress.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a 10 or 11. So,
Okay. So yeah, with
Okay.
that one, you kind of relight it, and you
Okay.
go ahead and you toss it over.
Okay.
Roll a d6.
Okay.
Me?
You're not gonna let me get a 6.
Oh, nice.
Well, yeah. Hopefully that's nice. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. So yeah, so you get it over there, and the torch remains lit as it
Okay.
kind of rolls under
Okay.
the floor.
I take the rope off, dripping wet. I scoot over to pick up the torch, and wave to him. And I'm gonna go check out the portcullis.
We can tie his axe up with the rope, and he can just pull it towards him.
Yeah,
That's safer. You know.
yeah, and I'll pull that over and out of the river, pick it up, shake it off, and then I'll head over to look this over. How high is it? Is there another crank? Is it locked down?
I think it was.
I may light the cobwebs around it on fire, burn those away. I don't want anything scurrying down these cobwebs to me.
Okay, so as you make your way over to the archway, and the portcullis is only up about halfway,
Okay.
so you can't really see when you kind of come up to it at first. You actually have to duck your head down in order to kind of get a good view of what actually seems to be happening. And in here, you see that it's a small size room, maybe about 20 feet across. It's not as vaulted. You can see the top. And you see that it's nothing but this kind of these strands or these webbings kind of placed all over the place. But you see that there's bundles hanging all over the place, maybe 10, 15. You see in the very middle, you see that there's a bundle of them. There's maybe 4 or 5 bodies. Now, these cocoons are not entirely wrapped. You see that they've actually been ripped open. The bodies in there aren't decayed. They look like that they've been eaten.
Ooh.
And then you can kind of see this rumbling in the middle of the pile. And you can kind of see what looks like a grub, but the size, it's like almost 5 feet long and 2 feet wide, very heavily armored, almost similar to like what you would see on a purple worm or something like that. Not that they're in this world, but similar to that. And you can kind of see this thing kind of just inches its way up over the pile, and you see it slowly eating the bodies inside these cocoons.
Okay.
I want you to go ahead and make a grip check.
Oh. Okay, here we go. 6. Not gonna do it.
You just lose 1 grip.
Okay.
From kind of seeing this thing, like these things just slowly eating it. But you can kind of see that there's not a huge swarm of these things. There's like these 3 giant grubs that seem to be eating these people that are in here.
I'm wet, I'm soaked, and the urine, you can't see the urine run down my legs as I take a step back. There we have creatures here eating on the bodies of men. Edmund might well be here. Oh,
wow. Okay. All right. Okay. I yell back. I say, come back so that we can, well, he was able to, did he have to swim across or was he able just to wade across
No,
the
he had to swim across.
Okay.
It's deep enough that you can't just wade it. So.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I have no armor.
Mm-hmm. Come back so that we may give you your equipment.
Oh, okay. So, I'm not swimming back across the river. We have to.
We'll use the rope.
Oh, yeah.
We'll use the rope. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll pitch the torch across.
No, leave it. We need it.
Yeah. Right. I'll set it down there. So we're coming back across. Well, why don't you just come across? Why should I go back to you?
We are. We are. I just want you to. We're gonna give you your equipment first so that you can be protected, and then either you can hold onto the rope, and I'll hold on to the other side, and we'll go one at a time.
I got you. I thought when you said come back, you meant swim across.
Not all the way. No, just where we can. Yeah, where we
awesome. So we'll pull my equipment across via the rope first. I'll get suited up, and then pitch that into the rope back to them. So I can stabilize them as they swim across.
Yeah.
Okay, so slowly taking your time. There is one thing that I do have to mention. If you choose to take the blunderbuss, the powder is going to be useless.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on using it right now. I assumed because I don't think I really know much about it at this point. So I just wanted to hang on to it for future if I survive for future use.
Okay,
so it's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so what you do is you guys kind of both wade in using the rope to slowly get over and across. You guys safely make it with your gear intact and with one of these lit torches. The one that goes out, I'm going to say you probably can't relight it.
It's done.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, no,
it's
no.
Yeah. Be done
okay, that's fine.
At this point, too.
Okay.
Okay. Under the portcullis there, in a small chamber, is some giant worm-like creature eating these bodies that were wrapped in these cocoons. I don't think it'll be much to dispatch such a creature, but either way.
Giant? What? When you say giant, what do you mean?
As big as a man, right? I would think.
Yeah.
I kind of blanch at that, and
You?
okay.
You are the slayer of the giant moth. This will be nothing for you.
I shrug and I say, how is Dale, what's your character's name again? I'm sorry. Quinn, yes. How's Quinn geared?
Basic armor, crossbow,
Oh, okay.
10 bolts, and a rapier. But
Like a rogue.
yeah, Gordy.
Quinn?
Do you see our fearless leader in the pile of men that is being eaten by these grubs? I'm looking into it myself. What you're saying?
Did I see him? You asked me.
You would recognize him, or something he wears.
Only that he is eating the bodies that are in these cocoons. I have not seen any identifiable marks. We're gonna have to kill that grub and cut through 15. Look, count them. There's 15 of these things.
Perhaps we raise the portcullis and lure these things toward us and drop the portcullis on them.
Things! I lean forward with my torch. Do you mean there's more than one? Did I miss another? And I look about looking for a second grub.
Yeah, so you see there's like 3 of them.
Oh.
Kind of sitting on top of these
Yeah, I take a
bodies.
step back. Yes, warrior, we are definitely going to need you to dispatch these grubs.
Do I take a look at the portcullis? Is it a similar mechanism like the previous one?
It looks like that it might be similar to what I had before, but there's no wheel here.
Ah, okay. Oh well. Okay.
But I mean, we can get under it.
I was thinking of closing it and maybe having Quinn pepper the shoot at the grubs and have them come and we just skewer them through the portcullis, but that won't work. So
I'm breaking out my crowbar right now where y'all are musing over this. Am I seeing anything that I can raise the portcullis with the crowbar?
Well, it's up.
A lever?
It's up.
Well,
now.
It's halfway up.
Yeah.
So you guys can easily kind of just duck down.
I have a feeling the control mechanism's on the other side.
Could be. Yeah. Well, we may have no choice but to face these things head on. I fear to throw a torch in there because we may destroy the potential bodies of those who we seek.
Agreed. We're gonna have
but
to.
Certainly, there's armor we can retrieve. His signet ring.
But what if he lives? What if he's like us, Quinn?
Yeah.
He lives.
That's true. He could be alive in there.
But all we require is some evidence of his demise for the rescue.
Quinn, you are drunk. You've had a little too much.
I take another swig.
Imagine what we'll get in reward if we bring him back alive.
Alive, yeah.
There's no. Is there any additional reward for bringing him back alive?
To quote a movie, more than you could imagine.
Yeah, that's right.
Says Luke to Han.
Yeah, right.
This might be worth.
Yeah, she's rich.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
Yeah. You may have a point, Gordy.
Yeah.
All right. So again, I will find a place to set this torch. Hopefully in the ground or in the portcullis bars or something, and then I'll duck under, draw my weapons, and approach the closest grub.
Okay, so the grubs are kind of like in a pile here. As you guys, I'm gonna actually ask for Quinn and Rowan to actually go ahead and make grip checks as well, just because of the scene and the way that it's set and this body's being slowly eaten. It's very unnerving.
I didn't need to make another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, did you make
No,
one
I
when you were
did.
looking in this
Not
room?
yet. I
No,
did.
Yeah.
when I first
Jason
saw
did.
it,
I didn't
yeah.
make one.
Yeah. Like you. Yeah. Jason doesn't need to because.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already
then-
pissed myself over
And
it.
that's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's a 2d6 plus
Yeah. So plus your will,
plus
or
11.
not your will. No, plus your wit.
With
Wait.
11.
I'm sure I failed.
Yeah.
7.
Lose one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lose one
Yeah.
rep.
Man.
Fortunately,
Okay.
you got quite a bit.
I'm down. Well, I'm down to 8 now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You look shaken. What is your Malik?
I say these caves and caverns hold horrors that were not meant to see the light of day, let alone torchlight.
But you've already faced these spawns.
I point and
Mother.
say those I haven't.
Right.
You've killed their mother or father.
Are you sure? Are you certain of that? I think that
Lay in the other
wine.
chamber.
I think that wine muddles your vision and gives you false courage. I think.
Gentlemen, hasten your step because they may soon be like their mother.
Okay.
15 bodies. Do we really have time to search out?
If
what's
they
his
turn,
name? Harold?
if they continue to progress, they may turn into 3 of those giant moths.
Okay. All right.
I'm loading my crossbow while they're
I
running
swallow
out.
hard and hoist my spear and shrug and say, I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Yes, lead the way, you great warrior.
From the rear. Okay.
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 We will
All right.
call you Moloch, the moth killer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
The grub stomper.
Yeah. So with actually great ease, you can easily dispatch these grubs.
Oh,
They
wow.
have
Okay.
not much of a defense. Like they
That's
have that
good, though.
chitinous armor
Mhm.
is like really tough, and
Mhm.
you'd be pretty hard to try and get a spear
Right.
through, but you can actually kind of skew them.
I have to give
I was
you-
wanting to at least shoot at him. Can I shoot him?
Yeah.
well, I have to give
Yeah.
you credit because
Yep.
your descriptions of these
Yep,
things
yep.
and the way that's
Yeah.
good. That's
Yeah,
good
that was
design.
good. Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, because we're not.
I mean, we're
sitting
preparing
here.
for a major fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're easy. They're supposed to be intimidating because of the scene. You're like, oh
Right.
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No, they're easily enough to dispatch.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. So you guys actually spend quite a bit of time
Mhm.
kind of going through the bodies, cutting them down. None of these ones, unfortunately,
Oh.
has lived.
Oh.
But you do notice the one that you have cut open looks greatly different than the others that you have before. So wearing clothing of great finery and a breastplate,
Yep.
with a pistol in one hand, basically
Yeah.
a pistol off to the side, and a very exquisite looking sword
Mhm.
to his right. You do see the body of the Earl, or of Lord Edmund.
There he
You
is.
see his skin
Mhm.
is basically like shrunk and tight.
Mhm.
Basically, he's got that grimacing grin of the skull. It looks like whatever liquid he had in his body has been drained
Wow.
kind of out of him, and you kind of see that he's kind of standing there like this.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see it looks like the way that he may have suffered greatly. It looks like he almost may have been screaming
Oh.
while he was actually here, but you see he also has the ring still
Mhm.
on his finger.
Okay.
Well, he did. But I'll be pilfering every body that I cut free and taking the change and coinage.
Yeah.
I nod to Moloch toward the sword. There,
Mm-hmm.
you should take that fine sword, Moloch.
I'll
No, I
well,
pass him my sword and grab that sword.
No.
Yes, here I'll lean over and
No.
hand him my sword.
Yeah.
There's your evidence.
Wait a minute. Weren't you across the room a moment ago?
He moves
Pilfering the other
quickly.
body?
No,
He moves
I've
quickly when
already
he's
pilfered through
stealing.
15 bodies. We've already cut open all these cocoons.
So we'll get our evidence. And is this
Just cut his head off. That's enough.
is there any other? Yeah, they may not appreciate that though.
Yeah.
Is there any other exit other than the way we came out of this chamber?
Well, you could explore if you'd like, or you can go straight from where you came.
We have got what we need, Moloch. Why would you push our luck? These things
Maybe-
are best left buried.
He said it again.
Yeah, he did.
Title
Yes,
card.
he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He's plugging the game.
And I will honor that since he got that in there, and I will say yes, you are correct. we have what we came for. So
And trust me, if Quinn runs out of liquor, you will not like him sober. I promise you. We must get him back.
Okay.
I've already refilled from the wineskins that were on the bodies.
Okay. All right. I agree then. I acquiesce.
Okay.
Let us go.
Okay.
I've
So
actually got a gourd. Go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say, and then with that, you guys actually spend the time just to backtrack to where you guys had been before.
Mhm.
And you make your way out of the dungeon to meet back with the camp that you traveled with
Mhm.
up to the top of the mountain. When you return with the body of the Lord of Edmund, you guys
Intact.
are
We did not remove his
intact.
head. We
Yeah.
did not remove his head.
Yeah, intact
desecrate
with
the
the
body.
ring and
Yes,
with the
with the
sword.
ring.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are actually set up. You guys could easily not work for a year.
See?
Like you get like
Nice.
a year or two's wages
There you go.
if you're to be with
That's
these
good
guys.
for me.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Many
And
many
that's-
great men died to bring back Edmund.
Mm-hmm. For a lost cause.
Yeah. All right, and that's all I have to offer.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well,
that was great.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Good.
So-
I like
good.
Best Left Buried. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
a cool system.
Yeah.
It's a nice little system, but like when I bought the deluxe PDF, I felt
Mhm.
like it wasn't worth what I had put into, like the money that I had put into.
Ah, really?
It feels a little incomplete. Like the systems are nice, they're
Right.
simple,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no listing for prices for equipment.
Ah.
There's no basically it. I don't think it would work. I don't think it would campaign well
Right.
for me. It kind
Oh,
of feels like
really?
yeah. To me, it feels
Okay.
like I think someone hit it on the head and said this feels more like a tournament module type of game,
Mm.
where it's kind of like an endurance run and you're trying
Mhm.
to find out.
Right.
You know,
Well, that would
certain
make sense with
dungeons.
grip too.
Okay.
It's like you're meant. It's almost like Darkest Dungeon. You're meant to go until you
Yeah,
turn
that's exactly
insane
what
or
it
die,
reminded
right?
me of. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the idea too. I think that was one of the motivators for it too. And
Ah.
they always play with this idea that listen, you're not just a small adventuring party. It's a large company of you
Yeah.
Ah.
that actually lives and goes down to these ancient dungeons, which
Yeah.
is known as the crypt, that run
Okay.
Yeah.
kind of below this continent. And you guys are trying to find out what's really down there.
Right.
What was the
Yeah.
civilization that existed down there, and where are these monsters coming from?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it does have a very much a really big Darkest Dungeon kind of
Yeah.
feel, and I
Mhm.
kind of like that. But it feels
yeah.
like it's just needs to bake for a little longer.
little
it just
more,
needed to
yeah.
have a little bit more to
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So is it?
Yeah.
I mean, so they're not going to release any other books or any other things. Then I guess that would
Uh,
fill those holes.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure
It's-
because they talked about
It's got other stuff. Right?
yeah, like they have other modules for
Yeah.
it, which are nice.
Are
But they were
Okay.
yeah, but they were talking about there's these kind of those negatives that you take in order to gain grip, which was injuries.
Oh, yeah, that's
they
right.
talked about taking injuries to get grip back. They talk about insanities
Mm-hmm.
and something called corruption. And they said that we'll give you the corruption in the deluxe version of the game, and that's what I bought.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it.
Nothing.
It's not in this book.
Wow.
Really? That's not
So
good.
yeah, so I just feel like it needed a little bit more editing.
Right.
It needed to refine
Okay.
a little bit more. It needed like just an equipment list. And like I said before, it feels more like this
polishing,
is just a little bit more
Ah.
polishing, and it would have been worth
Okay.
it. But I feel like I would wait probably for a second edition
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
before I would
Sure.
really look into it. It kind of feels a
Okay.
little bit too. But no, I enjoyed it. But I
Yeah.
think it's
Well,
a
you
fun
did a great
game.
job. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it was really.
I will say
yeah.
this about it: the character, the pre-mades are sweet. I mean, they definitely, with a couple of highlights and a couple of sentences, you definitely get the feel of that character.
Get a
What
feel,
that character's
yeah.
supposed to be. At least I do, and I was able to play two here, so
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
all right.
I was looking at that. It looks like if you wanted to actually make some other customized or just other character types, I don't think it would be too hard to do.
No, because they have the everyman, which is a nice one. Which
Yeah,
is kind
yeah.
of a like build your own.
Build
like you
your own,
don't have
yeah.
to- yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like the die mechanic, how you pick from the 3 dice, or,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
how that works. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah.
You
Well, like you can spin grip like a resource.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So
So, you know.
you're constantly playing your success rate with your inevitable demise.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very cool actually because if you want to be successful, you can, but you're going to pay the
It's
price
at a
at
cost,
some point.
right?
Yeah.
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 Unlike D&D, you either hit or miss, right?
Yeah,
There's nothing you can do to
That's
change your
all,
turn if you miss.
Yeah.
There's no strategy other than that. You hit or miss. Yeah.
So it's cool. It's got some neat things.
Yeah, it's got some very neat things, and like running it is easy. It's super easy. I liked it, and they just gave me like a 1-page dungeon to run. That's all I kind of gave you guys. Like it's just a 1-page dungeon I just looked at, and I'm like, this is all the stuff that I need to run it. That's great. So, like I said before, there's just a lot of tiny things for me where I'm like, I'm not quite sold on it. A little disappointed, but I like the theme. I like the resource management, which is really good, and the simplicity of the system. Works really well.
Simple's always my first measuring stick.
Oh yeah. All right. And that's. Did you guys have any other questions for the system at all, or did I actually? What I love to ask, and I usually never get it, is feedback. Was there anything that I kind of messed up on that could be cleared up?
I don't. To be honest, I don't think you needed Roll20. I mean, you did that all Theater of the Mind, the map.
Yeah.
We didn't need Roll20 other than unless you wanted evidence of dice checks.
I like the.
I mean, you did
I
that
like
all
how. Yeah, I like. I'm sorry, Jason. I like how you visualized. You were able to give us a visual of the zones. That I like very much. Because even with Theater of the Mind, it's abstract, but at least you kind of get an idea.
Right.
Of and that's all you really need. You know.
Yeah, the map
so I like
really
that very
for the
much.
zones, right?
Yeah. That I like that very much. Yeah. And like Jason was saying, you didn't. Other than that, what do you need? You didn't even really need Roll20 for anything, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't think you. I don't think you do it any different than any of us guys do dungeon crawls, man.
It's good.
Okay.
I mean, as far as being worse, no, it was fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're plenty descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never felt like I was screwed or behind the 8 ball because you weren't telling me where we were going or no, it was great. Awesome.
And honestly, I don't know if I really have ever really talked about it much, but I'm not a big dungeon guy, because to me it kind of gets monotonous after a while. Go left, go right, listen at the door. Door open, pin it closed. There's a lot, And this was really nice because it felt focused. There was just enough choice to keep it interesting for me, but it felt like we were actually making progress. It didn't feel monotonous,
Yeah, this is what I call a narrative dungeon crawl. It's not about our monotonous plotting. It's about this. I mean, we're getting a narrative dungeon crawl in which we get to make some key decisions. Do you want to go this way or this way? Do you want to go back? And that's usually how I like to run a dungeon crawl because it does get monotonous even as a DM to go, okay, you move 10 feet. Yeah, I agree.
And that's me. That's a thing of mine, but but I like that.
In this, you got descriptives like you have the river and you have the edge, and then I came out on a cavern, and then with the slime you're going through and the portcullis on the inside. So there's a lot of different things different environments or whatever.
This is how D&D 5th edition runs. Because they don't do the traditional old 10 feet takes so many minutes and you have to stop and pause. And I mean, the old dungeon crawl was literally like this map crawl.
Right? That's just the way it's designed,
modern
right?
D&D, it's narrative. It's very narrative, right?
But I will say that sequence with Dell's character was a nail biter. Yeah. Him crawling around in the dark. That was really good.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, I was rooting for the moth.
Because
Usk is nuts. He's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the moth that got him. It was the last step.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say about your DMing, Justin, is, this is a good thing because you give us leave to elaborate and narrate and have discussions back and forth, and different people may get tired of that. So as far as you allowing the pacing to go and just, allowing people to speak and then
let us role play. It's awesome.
Yeah, because we got into it. And we have that memory from the back and forth, and everybody does. Even like my character, like even the last game I'm going, you're looking at me like, this is strange. How am I interpreting that the Kabbalist or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in my mind, I had this whole, it allowed me to flesh out and realize this character that I had in my mind. So you were flexible enough to let me run with it and adjust on the fly, You know what I mean? So that's
Well, and you're running when it was actually world building for my character.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, 'cause
I
we
was
play off each other.
actually fleshing out kind of this sense of a world that I was learning about, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know if you'd read that somewhere. I was thinking, is this like from the book, or is he making this shit up? But Rowan, as far as Rowan knows, he was expecting there was a great mother of the ancients, and
Right. Yeah. Why would he? Yeah.
so
I agree.
Yeah, he's just because he had to have heard it from somewhere. He's not
Right.
He's nuts, right? And it's like, no, he just saw him.
That little concept for that I got was because in the little description it says the sleeping ancient or slumbering ancient, right?
Yeah.
So I knew
so
like
there is
even
some world building there. It's just a simple
Well,
sentence.
it was
Yeah.
just that one thing that could be one of the gods that you go for. But
That's all you need
I
sometimes,
took
right?
that. I said, okay, well, even when they had gladiatorial stuff, they literally thought when they was killing somebody that it was appeasing the people that had gone before.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, even the dead. So to me,
Yeah.
that's what I was doing. Like even turning the bodies over and let the blood flow into the ground. You know what I mean? Was appeasing the dead. That was the whole. That was the way I conceived of that one sentence.
Yeah.
And even taking the eyes away, to me, it was
Psychopathic.
yeah. Well, it was psychopathic, but and that was perfect when Justin said the things didn't have any eyes.
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking of old boy that did the Hobbit movies, Del Toro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those descriptions he has.
Yeah.
But the fact is, like, if you could, that's why I was taking the eyes out of the people earlier, because they couldn't, the sleeping, you close your eyes and you're in this other veil. So it's like, if you want to remove that, you have to take your eyes out to be able to see that world. That's why he would blind himself.
Wow.
And whenever he was up against that, he was trying to get the child of the slumbering ancient and put eyes in it so he could cross the path and see the earth and meet the two.
Yeah, awesome.
And see, that's just awesome world building. And it's nice to have people who, like, players that are that engaged, to be that creative. And see, to me, that's just a huge bonus. And I let you own it. Like, that's what you want to do. Like, what?
I think some people wouldn't. They'd say, no, that's not in the rule. But you know what I mean? And you can't elaborate on it.
Yeah.
So
Fortunately, those guys aren't in our Sunday group.
Yeah.
I don't know who those guys are, but they're not in our group.
Yeah.
Todd just kills us. If he doesn't like it, he just kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. You're dead.
Yeah.
That's a song. Oops, I did it again.
Yeah.
Todd's song.
That was a good Sunday,
good.
Justin, man.
Oh,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank
no
you.
problem. Lots of fun. I had a whole lot. Yeah. I'm just trying to find out how to, like, deal with Zoom. I'm like, I have you guys like all shrunk down in the corner, and I'm like,
oh, you know what? Yeah, that's, I think
up in the right hand is a view.
There's
there's that
full screen.
But there's a difference between the app and running it through your web browser. Because I was doing it through my web browser the last session we had, and I didn't have all the options that these guys were telling me about, So
and even Justin, you can go down to one of the things I get the Zoom for is the backgrounds. You got the music that was playing. I didn't notice it initially, but that was cool.
Is there music
playing on rolls?
Oh, I didn't hear it. Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Slight.
Okay,
I
didn't hear it. Okay,
I heard no music. I'll be darned. So I missed that whole.
I missed that too.
I missed it too.
So it's just playing in your head. Usk.
That's what it was.
Usk is nuts.
Yeah.
That was
Did you guys hear the
ancient
music?
Running.
Yeah.
That was the melodic slumbering ancient droning in my head constantly. But his death was perfect to him because, like I said, he was coming out of that thing just like being birthed into it. Just fell down.
His alleged death.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because it took me a minute for it to like, what? Wait a minute, what just happened?
Yeah.
It was crazy when I was looking for these I forgot it was in roll 20, the character sheet.
Yeah.
I was finding all kind of characters from way back when.
Oh yeah.
Remember that game? Heck, I don't know if you or Kevin ran us through it. I think you did, where I fought where Cullen Eisimer, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
The what?
My character was Cullen, and you had like some kind of a golden stone golem in a Aztec temple or whatever.
Yeah.
And I
that was you and Kevin in
brought me straight down.
in the French game, the French OSR.
Oh, what'd you guys
Appeased
do?
and Sorcerellis?
Yes. Swords and sorcery, but it's
okay.
yeah, but it's the French. It's 2d6 D&D. It goes back to the original D&D 2d6. Very cool.
Okay.
I was just saying, I was pulling out all kind of old characters. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah, I love that version. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of these days, all of our Sunday stuff, we'll get around to playing all these damn games.
Yeah.
Hey, why not? You know,
Yeah.
let's give them a try.
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad we finished this up one though.
Yeah, that was
this
nice.
is
Great.
Yeah.
A lot of one shots, we kind of just stopped.
Well, I want to
Yeah.
finish. I want to finish Kevin's BF too. His basic fantasy that we were all doing.
Yeah, we still gotta get that one wrapped
That's
up
a-
too, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
got a
think.
lot of
Are
them.
we fighting the thing now, or did we just kill it? I can't remember in his.
We were fighting. No, we just finished off whatever that water elemental was,
right.
or whatever the heck.
Oh
it was.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, because I fell in the. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, us as players, we know all those kids are dead.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was rolling the knuckle bones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another one of my famous deaths. Yeah.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
And
clear
I
it,
think
yeah.
Todd's going to maybe get us back to Joth here pretty quick, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
well,
yeah.
like I said before, like he mentioned it on October, I think. He was like, "Oh yeah, a couple weeks
Oh,
and we'll be
yeah,
back in
that's
Joth."
right.
And I was
That's
like,
right.
"Oh, all right." And then
Yeah.
I asked him, "Hey, I'm doing my Joth check." And he's like, "Yeah, we're not doing it." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
he said no. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh."
So yeah.
Well, we all need breaks, especially when you've been running consistently. You know, you need a
Yeah.
break. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's cool. But
Yeah, we'll
either
get
way,
back to
man,
it.
the Sunday group is fantastic. So when we have,
I enjoy it.
time,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. I love
Cool.
it.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. I have
Yeah,
to
okay.
actually cook dinner now myself.
Oh wow.
so-
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta
we're
go
late
sleep
here.
for 15 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get some rest, buddy.
That's right,
Yeah.
man.
All
Well,
right.
feel better,
Anyways,
Dale.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
appreciate it, guys.
Okay, thanks
No
guys.
problem.
Talk
Thank
to
you.
Great playing with
Yeah.
y'all.
See
Thanks,
you guys.
guys.
See you guys.
Have a good one.
Okay.
All right.